Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube and live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that fam? What's going on, man? What's happening? What's going on to the family in the building, man? How y'all doing tonight, man? This your boy Big Q chiming in with the Sports Coma TSC Live Surprise Stream number 34 in the building. So many shows, man. I think this is episode 436. Live stream number 34, but show number 436. I'd like to thank all the family in the building, man. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. But tonight I'm not coming at you with a scripted show today, family. I'm kind of doing something a little bit different tonight. Tonight's show, I'm gonna give the family ultimate opportunity to call in tonight, address comments, concerns, or questions, man. Telling y'all, man, it's terrific, it's beautiful, but I'm gonna play a few interviews tonight as well, man. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Von Bell, a couple of those guys. I'm gonna play those guys tonight. We had some audio issues last night where we couldn't get where you couldn't hear Sean Payton or Teddy Bridgewater's interview. I'm gonna try to spin them a little bit of those tonight and hit you guys with a 2-hour, maybe an hour and a half, or 2-hour live stream, surprise stream to the family. Well, I kind of put you on notice last night when we had the other show, but who that to the fam in the building? Till the legend, who that baby? Donnell Covington, who that to you? Soldier for God 77 in the building, who that family? 985J in the building, baby, who that to you, baby? Cedric Mosley in the building, what's good, homie? Derek, who that to your family? Derek says we have 2-0-3 teams playing on Monday Night Football. What has the NFL come to? 2-0-3 teams. Okay, I got you. They suck, man. They schedule makers don't know exactly what they're doing. Who that to you? Christian said, can I get this intro instrumental? Everybody feeling the instrumental. Family Dollar said, I need that track. Big Q is hot. Well, Suede, man. Suede came through, man, and threw it down for the family, man. We recorded it, put it together, man. He said, man, I got something for the Sports Coma. And I like to thank Suede for doing that, man. So big ups to him, big ups to Adrian. Who that to you? Tramal, who that baby? Till said, we got to show love to my guy, PJ Playmaking Williams. Wow. I don't know if I won't go that far, Till. PJ Williams is playing better, man. I just as long as he's not getting burnt. DLP 2600 in the building. Who that to you? Tramal said, what's up with Reverend Saint, the pimp pastor? He chilling, bro. He chilling, man. Kyle Davis says, who that to you, Kyle? He says, Skip Bayless was looking bent out of shape on Undisputed this morning, pole mouthing for his Cowboys. I'm going to play some of that. That's some of the stuff that I want to play for you guys today. I'm going to play for you the unbelievable backdrop from the Saints doing what they did. I mean, I ain't want to play Rex Ryan's stupidness because he's just an idiot. He's looking at a stat sheet saying that the Saints have a 20-something, 28 ranked defense. They can't possibly beat the Cowboys. That's what happened when you get people that look on the stat sheet and look at stats and say, well, they can't beat this team because they're the 28th ranked team. That's what kind of people up there, man. I've been saying that. How you looking at a stat sheet and saying, well, they got a 28th ranked defense. They can't handle the Cowboys. Only thing they do is shut the Cowboys' offense down. And the whole damn league, the whole damn world, Cowboy world, and all these chumps with all these networks, all they can do is sit up here and ask the questions, what happened to Dallas? No respect, no conversation about how the Saints are. The biggest story is really how the Saints are winning these games without Drew Brees. That's the adversity, but the story is the Cowboys lost. What is the problem? Why did they lose? And all of them are saying it. The NFL Network, all these chumps and suckers, man. That's why there's a Sports Coma here. And that's why there's other talk shows of black and gold family members that have other shows that's covering the black and gold, man, that do it because we know that we'll never get the fair coverage, that there's no one up there speaking for the Saints, and no one up there talking for the Saints, no one speaking big and real for the Saints, but the Sports Coma and the family is going to speak real for the Saints. So who that to all the family members in the building? 985J says, that track hard, Q. Smoke, who that to you, baby? He says PJ laid a big hit. He can hit, man. PJ can hit. He just can't cover. That's the problem with PJ. Tramal says Cowboys fans trying to make excuses, saying the refs and all this kind of stuff. I'm sick of that, man. I'm just sick of the narrative that the Saints can't do nothing right. The Saints were supposed to lose. The Saints were supposed to fall apart. The Cowboys supposed to walk all over the Saints. That was the storyline. But I kept telling people all throughout, go back and listen to the shows. It's documented. It's in the annals of history. You can go back and listen to it. I can't go back and change it. You can go back and listen to it and hear me saying what I was saying about the Cowboys and saying what the Saints need to do. And the Saints implemented it. Sheldon Rankins came back. Why did those stupid analysts not factor that into the play? What about the play of David Onyemata and the Saints, the fact that they can make the adjustments? Why didn't they say that? These guys have no visions all of the supposed people, the Randy Mosses and all these clowns, they all said the same thing. But I'm just unbelievable fallback of not how good the Saints are playing with Teddy Bridgewater is by the fact the Cowboys lost because of the fact that they didn't play well. It's just unbelievable, man. But at the end of the day, that's why I kept saying that you are officially in underdog status now. So that's what it comes down to. Who that till you smoke? Kyle says facts. Teal says Dennis got put PJ in the right position. New improved Roman Harper. Stephon Wells, who that to you, said great job. Saints defense played their butts off. DLP is 4 games and our defense didn't take off till mid-season. It takes 4 games. I've been saying it for a while. DLP, you know that it takes 3 to 4 games for the Saints team to round into regular season form because the preseason games, they don't play them together, and that's the problem. That's why I want to eliminate the preseason. It makes no sense because they're going to have a preseason anyway, but they use the first 4 games to get it together. And you see they look all kind of coverages will look bad, and it looked like they were in preseason. Then you start seeing game 3, game 4, they start to round in the form. That's usually how long it takes, and that's history telling you that. That's what they've been doing for the last several years. Carlos, who that to you? The whole mainstream media deserves a huge dat slap. Thank you, Carlos, man. They need to dat slap the hell out of all those clowns, man. Smoke says we got to start dropping 7s. It's going to come, bro. It's going to come. Teal says 18 carries for 36 yards. I know, family. That's the killer stat that they keep going to, is the fact that they can't believe that Zeke Elliott was held to 18 carries for just 35 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, his average on that was less than 2 yards a carry. That's laughable, man. That's laughable. But that's what the Saints defense do when we put our minds to it. Larry says, whoa, nah, that slapped them Cowboys. Who that to you, Larry? Who that to you, Robert? And Derek L's talking big, man. 35 yards, man, on 18 carries. That's 1.9 average on a rush. Kyle says, I wonder if there any consideration for Dez in October. You better believe it. Dez Bryant did say that he's looking at a mid-October approach. So we're going to see. That's right, till 1.8 on the average for that dude, man. That's unreal. And this guy's one of the top backers in the league. But the Saints defense, according to Rex Ryan, dumbass, sitting up there looking stupid and probably drunk when he made the prediction, said that the Saints didn't have a chance. Randy Moss, stupid ass, said the same thing. And so did the rest of them buffoons and clowns that knew absolutely nothing about the New Orleans Saints. It's just a lottery, man. But anyway, can't be mad at them because choose them, or be too mad at them to choose them because they're stupid. But the bottom line is that our Saints win. We get the win despite the fact that we didn't even have to throw a touchdown in a damn game. But anyway, I just want to play a little bit of the shenanigans of some of these buffoonish people who I'm speaking about, just to show you, just to rub it in a little bit, baby, just to rub it in. But y'all guys, listen to this. It's one of the ones that we heard today that I had received about the Saints shocking everyone. This is part of it. Y'all tell me if y'all can hear it or not. Let me know if you can hear. We had some audio issues last night where it came through on the sound system, reading that it was playing to you guys, but people were saying they couldn't hear it. So let me know if you can hear it right away. Okay, fellas? Here we go.
Defense gives up 12 points. And, that nobody had, he's the best QBR, has the highest completion percentage. He had not had an incompletion in the third quarter.
Nope.
He had been missed the second half.
Still hasn't had an incomplete.
Wait, what'd they get him last night?
Got him a touchdown.
It's not your turn to talk. Yes, I'm talking now.
Well, you said in past tense, and he still hasn't had an incomplete in the third quarter.
He had an opportunity, Skip Bayless. 3 chances in the fourth quarter, down 2 points. All he needs is a field goal. He doesn't need a touchdown. No run, no win. You see what happens, Skip Bayless? Dak Prescott has the highest completion percentage. He's almost perfect when it goes play action to throwing the ball. Great completion percentage and touchdown. But guess what happens when you can't run the football? All of a sudden, them linebackers like, hey, that front four going to handle that run. Let me get back to my drop. Let me get into this hook. Let me worry about these over routes. And they took all that away. What happened to your boy Mark Cooper last night? Anyway, Skip Bayless.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not
you
your turn.
You asked me a question. I think he just gave up the floor.
No.
Not yet.
the guy that was completing 80% of his passes, there were 2 3rd and 2s. DJ, can you drop that track for me? Skip, you know I don't normally call for video. I don't like cop. I don't like to do this,
I'm
Skip.
about to call for a whole lot of
you
video.
call for whatever you want to. Hey, DJ, drop this track right quick for me. On 3rd and 2. Look at this right here. 3rd and 2. What kind of 3rd and 2? 3rd and 2.
You know what? Can I respond to that? That was one of his best throws of the night. He led him upfield so he could turn and run for 10 more yards. And Randall Cobb got 2 hands on the ball. Shannon Sharp gets 2 hands on the ball. He catches it. That was exactly where he aimed it.
No, Skip.
He threw it to him to turn upfield.
Skip.
I tweeted it immediately.
Skip.
He has to turn and run.
Skip.
And he was looking to run with it and flat out took his eyes off. I'm happy you showed that video.
Skip.
That was one of his smartest throws of the night.
If he turns and runs, Marcus Latimer is going to.
Nope.
It's cover 2. He would get decapitated.
Sorry, you blew it again. Thank you for showing that video. Next one.
Skip.
What's the next video?
Skip.
I don't know. Did you say you had 2 3rd and 2s?
Skip, why would
Show
you
me
argue?
another one.
Skip, why would you
Show
argue
me.
that?
I love it.
I
Go ahead,
absolutely
Tom.
love
Go
it.
ahead.
Go
Let's
ahead.
listen to Skip
What's your other
Bayless.
third?
I'm done.
Two.
I'm done.
He
Because
about to
you're
have a
trying
heart
argue
attack.
coverage with me.
No, I know coverage. I know what that throw was. He led him upfield, and
Skip
Randall
trying to
Cobb took
tell
his
Shannon
eyes off
Sharp's
the
the
ball
Hall of
because he was
Fame about
looking to run
coverage.
5
You don't
more
know a damn
yards
thing
with
about
it.
nothing, man.
Skip, just hear me out. They put Zeke out. They walked Zeke out. They left on it. It's a zone coverage.
Okay,
They're
he's
playing
got-
cover 2. If they
Led him upfield.
Okay, go
Chris
ahead. take it away.
Collinsworth said,
Go ahead.
you know what? Randall's going to want that one back because it hit him right in the hand.
Go ahead, Skip. Go
Got to
ahead.
make that
Go ahead.
catch.
It's your cup.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
lay
go
it
ahead.
on.
You've interrupted me the whole time. You're upset the Cowboys lost. Go ahead.
No,
Make your
I'm
point.
not
Go
upset.
ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
actually
Go ahead, make your
very
point.
happy.
Go ahead.
My turn. Thank you very much. So, somebody across from me, to start with, predicted that Teddy Bridgewater's offense would score how many points? 30 points,
They
said
won.
Shannon Sharp. 30
So
points?
now you want to make it
They
seem like
scored
they scored
12.
How many did your offense score?
Oh, but I predicted 20-17 to Dallas because I said it would be a low-scoring game,
How
just the
many
way
you-
it was,
But you lost.
13-10.
How many
predicted a win.
your offense
Okay,
scored?
but I'm just saying, you said 30 points, and my defense held them to 12. And I'm excited about my defense. I'm excited about Robert Quinn because I saw a Super Bowl defense
He
emerging
excited about
last
his
night.
defense, fam.
I'm
Let me shut
very
this
happy
dude
and
off.
very.
This dude is out of his mind. They lost the game, but he's excited about his defense. You were excited about Robert Quinn. The Saints is, man, this what happens when the Saints win. We turn everything upside down and around, and I just love it. I love it. And that's not it. All the Dallas Cowboys people were losing their goddamn minds because they lost the football game. It's almost like we eliminated them out of the playoff race. But you know what? You know why we looking at it? We're saying, man, it's not a big loss. It's no big deal. We beat the Dallas Cowboys. We knocked them off. But you know what they're looking at? They're looking at the fact that they know that when the playoffs happen, they're going to have to come to New Orleans if they make the playoffs. We got the tiebreaker. That's what they're looking at. And you also got to understand, fam. Check this out, family. The Dallas Cowboys had a concerted effort to buy half the tickets in the Superdome to try to eliminate the crowd noise for their team to win. Seriously, look it up. The Dallas Cowboys fan base, this had to be an organized thing. I have to say it probably was a Dallas Cowboys team that was responsible trying to eliminate the home field advantage by buying as many tickets in the Superdome as they can so they could put Cowboys fans in there so they could try to control the crowd noise. But we still was loud. I told you, there is no fan louder than a Saints fan. We travel and we win. A bunch of excuses. Love with how Shannon Sharp laid it out. But it's just great, man. I played that just to show you these people out of their goddamn minds, man. They're out of their minds. A loss is a loss. You lost the game. It was a regular season game. You got Green Bay next. See if you can win that one. You know, so it's fun, man. It's fun to see this type of stuff happen. Why are y'all all so shocked? Dion primetime, he ain't say nothing negative, but all of these people are shocked because the Saints were able to beat them. I mean, that was the top story, everybody. The top story was the fact that the Saints defeated the Cowboys, and that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. The Saints were supposed to get beat in their own goddamn building. It's just amazing, man. It's just absolutely amazing. The Saints wasn't supposed to stop Ezekiel Elliott from running the ball. 18 carries for 35 measly yards on a 1.9 average with a gimme touchdown. That wasn't supposed to happen. We wasn't supposed to stop Amari Cooper, who was thrown at 8 times, caught 5 of them for 48 yards. No whatsoever, no impact on the game at all. We wasn't supposed to stop Randall Cobb, who was thrown at 6 times, 3 catches for 41 yards. No touchdowns. None of the wide receivers had touchdowns. The top weapon was Jason Witten, old slow tail, and we forced fumbles, 3 forced fumbles off of the Cowboys. Dak Prescott didn't throw a touchdown. He threw an interception. He had a 76.8 QBR in the game, despite throwing for 223 yards in the game, which was pretty comfortable. I'm cool with him throwing 220 something yards with nothing, with no touchdowns and an interception. And even the freakish thing to talk about, family, is the fact that the Saints held Dak Prescott. See, they're not even talking about this stuff. They worried about Zeke. But Prescott is the story. Not only did the Saints not allow him to throw a touchdown, they forced him to throw an interception, but that toward the end of the game. But this is the thing. He didn't get outside the pocket. The Saints held him and contained him within the pocket. He had 1 scramble for 7 yards the entire game. Now tell me that's not an impressive stat. None of them talking about that. These supposed to be the experts. These supposed to be the analysts, the confidence men running around. Dak Prescott, 1 scramble for 7 yards. He was held and contained by the Saints defense, and that's something that we're not even talking about. But the Saints defense was excellent. The offense didn't get a score, but they set the special teams up for field goals. Ultimately, I think they'll iron it out where they'll get touchdowns. Teddy just threw 2 touchdowns the week before last, and it'll start happening as he moves forward. We got Tampa Bay coming up. They're susceptible to the pass. We'll see what's going on, man. So, like I say, man, this is an excellent win in many different areas, but it's just absolutely insane to me to go over and turn on the computer and see all of this rigmarole about, oh my goodness, the Saints beat the Cowboys like the Saints aren't anything. It's absolutely crazy. Big ups to the fams chiming in the building. Kyle says Saints got everybody bent out of shape. Till says Skip about to catch a stroke. Looked like he had about several of them, to be honest with you, man. He looked like he ready for the coffin. Pain Music Inc. What's happening, baby? Says Skip was mad. Yeah, he was mad. All the blame, the veins busting out his face, man, turning all red, all of the blood circulating up to the top of his head. I mean, he was just a fool. Donovan, who that Donovan? Says Shannon ate him alive this morning and stopped Cowgirls fans, and he died hard last night. Oh man, it's crazy. Skip was the same dude that threw his Cowboys away last year. You don't know what he doing, man. The dude's just he's just a sports writer. Dada says Cowboys fans making a ton of excuses. Who that to you? Skip was going to sleep mad. Kevin McKnight, who that, baby? Soldier for God says Green Bay gonna beat the Cowgirls. I think so too. Robert Clark said, the Saints still consider underdogs playing this Sunday? That's a good question. You're looking at Tampa Bay. They was able to knock off a Rams team, so you can't take them for granted. A tough Ram club that we could have beat. It hadn't Drew got knocked out of the game, we would have beat them stinking Rams. But you can't underestimate anybody in the NFL, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers showed the Rams yesterday in their building. They beat them 55-20 or something like that. I don't know what it was, but I mean, they just got to golf. Golf looked terrible. And you can't underestimate that Tampa Bay team. We got to play hard. We got to take them apart. Tramal says when the Saints had problems with the refs, everyone's saying we was crying. Now it seems like the Cowboy fans are. It's just what it is, because I mean, to be honest with you, man, the Saints do it. We just winners, man. Bottom line, man, we just winners. That's what we do here. We don't make no excuses. We lose Drew for 6 weeks. What we do? We put our backup quarterback in there. What we do? Make adjustments. And then we come forward. We play hard. We play hard because the main goal don't change. Even with Drew out of there, this is still a playoff team. I kept telling people that. They underestimate the Saints, and that's to their folly, because the Saints are still a dangerous club, regardless if Drew's in there or not. They're still a playoff team. They're not a Super Bowl team without Drew, but they're still a dangerous playoff team, and they're knocking off these teams. And I'm telling you why. They're not looking perfect with the wins, but they're doing enough to win games. They're stepping up in key moments to make plays, and that shows something. That shows the heart of a champion. To win ugly sometimes. You're not going to always have the pretty wins. You know, you're not going to always have them, but this is a part of it. Who that to the rest of the family chiming in right now. DJ, who that to you? DLP 2600 says, if the O-line had made those penalties, what would have the score looked like then if they had made those penalties? Probably we'd have a couple of those penalties. Remember, the Saints were 0-4 in the red zone. I would say if some of those penalties wouldn't occurred, I think the Saints would have got at least 2 touchdowns in the red zone. I really do think so. I think we could have beat them a lot bigger than that. Tramal says Tony Dungy was the only one that gave us a chance. Shannon Sharp was also one as well, so big ups to both those guys. Those are good football guys. Remember, Tony Dungy is a Hall of Fame guy. He got good sense. Shannon Sharp is a guy that got good sense, and he called it. He said it. You know, they getting blinded by all this nonsense, man. But really, if you look at the Cowboys schedule, they didn't really play any top-notch competition. They kind of had it all rolling, and then when they met a really good team with something to prove in a tough environment, the offense wilted and was literally shut down. You should have seen Rex Ryan, big dumbass, today talking about, I can't believe it. They had 3 offensive linemen, Pro Bowlers, and you're looking at the Saints. The Saints look. So what do the Saints have? Lunch and meat? I mean, what they have? Minced meat up there? We chop liver or something? I mean, it's foolish. But that's when people don't know who your team is. Who that to your will? I see your baby. Who that Gary? And the rest of the family. Who that Kevin McKnight? He said Sean need to do a better job with his play calling to put the game away. You're absolutely right, family. He was kind of really going hard on himself, man. I ain't gonna lie, he was really going hard on himself, man, in the press conference when he was talking about he put Teddy Bridgewater in a bad position by when he made that call. And you can see he was getting better with his play calling. But remember, he had those plays when he was even implementing Latavius Murray into the mixture. Latavius had 4 carries for 14 yards in the game, 3.5 on the average. But you got to get Latavius Murray in the mix, especially in those 3rd and 1s. We don't need Elvin taking too much. The offense is, even though Kamara's the featured back, I think you have to get Latavius Murray going. You got to give him at least 10 or 12 snaps a game because he's a big, brutal back, and he's made for the ground and pound. That could have really helped. The Saints had a better, run. I mean, they had difficulties protecting the quarterback. Dallas is phenomenal with the pass rush. A big time to kind of equate that and neutralize that pass rush is by hitting them with that power back, smashing that power back, and just eliminating those pass rushers taking off like that. You see what I'm saying? That could have been a method that Sean Payton, but sometimes he get a little too cute. And that's the thing that gets him in trouble. But anyway, let's hear from Mike Thomas, family. We're going to open the phone lines after this interview so we can hear from you. But let's hear from Mike Thomas after the win over the Cowboys.
Between you and him, between plays on the sideline?
I got you. I'm here for you. I got you. Just keep telling him we're here. Let him know that he has options on the outside and let him know that, even though he's getting a lot of pressure, we're going to keep fighting with him.
Personally, how do you think that your chemistry with Teddy has evolved?
It's going to involve week in and week out, just the way we practice, the way we prepare, the way we get extra reps, and just the way we go about our business. It's only could improve.
Mike, you've been involved in the game where you've been able to move the ball.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You move it. It's like you couldn't really kind of punch it in there.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look and see, but as long as we're winning and, we won this game, and when the scoreboard goes off, we're victorious. That's the name of this game. It's hard to win this league. That was a tough opponent. However you got to win them, you got to win them in this league.
There are times when time of possession is not a really good barometer for what happened, but tonight it was a pretty good barometer. But just being able to, they can't do anything if they don't have the ball.
Yes. We have a tremendous coaching staff who are going to put us in great positions and play all type of situations. We practice all type of situations, and credit to our coaches for the preparation throughout the week.
Michael, Teddy was talking to us yesterday about not about the stats, but just about getting you in.
Yeah.
The way he performed today, what can you kind of say about his performance? Is that kind of what you expect out of him?
I'm excited to see him keep making those steps in the right direction and keep improvement. He's a tremendous quarterback. Like I said, he hadn't played football in a long time. So, if you go watch his film previous, though, he was, the things he done, he played a lot of big-time football. He made a lot of big-time throws. So it's just him getting in the field and getting that confidence, and we're his supporting cast, so that's our job.
Talk about Will Lutz. Obviously, he's been a difference maker in several matchups this year so far. Just talk about how he is as a weapon for you all offensively.
Yeah, like you said, he's definitely a weapon. He scores points as well. He does his job, and he prepares like that throughout the week. Him and all our special teams guys, they treat it just like they're, a skill position on this team. So just to have a guy like that, when you know you need 3 points or you need to just get some type of points, we don't really like when Will goes on, we know it's probably going to be a kickoff.
That's Mike Thomas, y'all, chiming on his thoughts on everything that happened in the game and his thoughts on things. I like the soft-spoken nature of Mike Thomas, but he stepped up big in this one. 9 catches on 9 targets, 95 yards, 10.6 average on hit. The longest catch he had was a 20-yard catch. Now let's move to our next interview real quick. This Cam the Man Jordan as he gives his thoughts on the win over the Cowboys.
Yeah, we knew what we have to do. We got to be able to focus and limit Zeke Elliott. We knew that was the driving horse of their offense, and I think we did just that. I think we got Dak off the spot a couple times. We came up with a big sack in the late one. I thought I had a sack strip fumble. Somebody review the tape. I'm sure it'll probably be that. Never mind. When it comes down to it, we got to create pressure where we can. We got to come up big, and we did just that in the fourth quarter.
How much pride does the defense take when the offense doesn't have to score a touchdown and you still win?
I mean, we scored 4 times. It just happened to be field goals. We got to make that work. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we want to clean up. There's a late penalty on defense that we want to clean up. There's, there was another opportunity for us to get another turnover, and that could have, eliminated that entire last couple plays. That's something we got to focus on. 1% better every day.
What about the offense moving the ball like a 9-minute drive when they have to just
That's huge.
downs?
TOP. That's huge. Time of possession. To be in control of that, it gives us a chance for us to get off of, Dak's. It was some crazy stat where Dak completed like every pass for the third quarter of the last couple games. I guess that stops here. But at the end of the day, we knew what we had to do as a team. Offense took control of the ball time, and you talk about defense. Made a huge 4th and 1 conversion, a turnover, 3rd one, 4th one. Doesn't matter. Ended up with our ball anyways. When you have the defense turning over at a high level, that's what you need.
What was it like to get ranked back today?
It's huge. You saw the interior pocket presence. At the end of the day, Dave was able to feed off of that and come up with a huge sack for 4th down last drive of the game. I thought I was going to double back with that. Gosh darn it, Batman. It is what it is. I'm just going to be watching film for us tonight. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Cam, has there been talk amongst you guys?
I feel like everybody's shorter.
What the defense can do while Drew is out, kind of, if there's a
This is the level we're supposed to be playing at. It's not because Drew's out. It's not, if Drew's out or when Drew's coming back. It's the ability to come to the field and know that we have our 11 starters on our defense, and that's something that we need to take pride in. We have to eliminate those big explosive plays, which, I think there's 1 or 2 that still happen, and we've got to eliminate those. We're always striving for perfection. That's the name of the game. And so every win we get closer to where we want to be, but at the same time we still have a lot more we can go.
Not your position group.
It's Cam Jordan family. Is he breaking it down? Thoughts on the game as Cam only can give, man. Very enlightening. Very enlightening as well. Cam real energetic, man. In this game, he had just 3 tackles in the game, but he was trying to get there. Of course, he was held. You never hear Cam complain about being held. Every now and again, you see him go to the referee with his hand stretched out saying, the guy's holding me. But Cam just plays harder and harder and harder. And it's just damn good to see our defense playing the way they are. Big ups to the family just chiming in. Reynald says Drew needs to pass the torch when he comes back. Demario Davis needs to keep doing the pregame speeches. King Ebony, who that baby, says the will to win is why we win. We are. Let's see, we got cut off there. Hold on here. For whatever reason, my family's messages is being cut off here. Let me read it from my other screen here. King Edmund said, the will to win is why we win. We are the only team to play as a whole, as a unit. We fight together. We win together. We rally behind Drew Brees and Teddy B. Who that? God damn it. Who that? King Ebony, big ups to you, family. Really good comment there. Big comment. It might be the comment of the night. Kyle says, well said, Mike T. Gary, who that? He says, I do not think it is the O-line. It's the refs' calls on the Saints when our opposing team is doing the same. You got to call it, man. The referees don't give the Saints the same courtesy. Bottom line, whether they are away at home, it's a pattern here. And and you hear these gutless commentators that refuse to address it because they suppling on the tit. You know what I'm saying? Not to get that speech, but they are feeding off the machine, and they will dare not slap the hand or whatever, what have you, that's feeding them. They won't tell the truth. They'll only go along with the nonsense. But that's why, when family members would say to me about, well, Q, you need to, they should hire you to go over there. I don't want no part of that. I don't want to be a part of them. I remain independent, because with that analysis, I can be able to tell the truth. I can be able to go after Mickey Loomis if he makes a mistake. If I work for him, I can't say that. That's a lot of times they'll come to you to try to do that so they can put you under control, but that's not it. Independent is the way to be, always the way to be. That way you get that pure commentary, man. And like I said, y'all guys are not crazy. Y'all watching it like we watching it, and you see what we're seeing, and you're seeing it at home or and away. You just don't get the calls. And we're not asking for home cooking. I'm against that. But what I'm saying is, if it's going to be fair, which is not, they should call it as the same. Because if their guys, you can see the Cowboys guys holding or on the offensive line and you throw the calls, you should be able to do it. Like if you say the Saints guys are holding, then the Cowboys guys are doing the same thing. So how do you see them and not see us? That's my argument all the time. So we just have to keep hitting at it, and understand we making an impact here. We making an effect here, because before, a lot of times people didn't pay attention to the game like that. But now when you pay attention to it, you understand how things are changing, because it's forcing them to adjust and change what they're doing, because they notice people are paying attention to it. So you are making an impact. Don't feel like you aren't. So let's keep reading some of the comments here, family. Scoop says, Dada, they are worse than they accused of being last year. Dallas fans feel stupid now that they had a second line march in the French Quarter, says Tramal. Dada says, yeah, they suck. Cry, make so many excuses. I'm glad I'm not one of those lame fans. Robert Clark says, I read that Drew could be back by the Cardinals game. Drew is pushing, man. He really pushing. His rehab is going pretty good, but he wants to get back early. We'll see. DJ Who Dat, he said, with the Tampa Bay beat. So with the Tampa Bay, it beat the, can't see with that. That's a Rams logo. Okay, the Lambs. Are you scared of the Bay? I guess if you asking me, DJ, about if we afraid of Tampa Bay, of course not. Tampa Bay's played the Saints hard for some time now. They're not scared of New Orleans. They're gonna definitely bring it, but they're so up and down. But the reality is that we have to take Tampa Bay as serious as we take the Cowboys or the Seahawks or the Texans or the Rams. For real, Tampa Bay has some key pieces in place, and you can't underestimate anybody. This is the NFL, man. These professionals all the way around. Just because they were playing pretty bad the last few weeks don't mean they're gonna continue that trend. That's just not how it goes. These are professionals, and some of the best in the world at what they do. So that's what I'm saying, family, when it comes down to it. Who that? Robert McGovern, he says, we messed with Texas. Messed over Texas. Let me throw this to the family too. Randy said we messed over Texas. If you go back and span back, we beat both Texas teams this year. We beat the Houston Texans in week 1. We beat the Dallas Cowboys Sunday. The LSU Tigers beat the Texas Longhorns. It ain't too much more we can do to Texas that's messing over them until the Pelicans take care of business against the Rockets. Then we'll have a full sweep. So, I mean, the state of Louisiana is really taking it hard to the rotten. Well, I ain't going to say rotten, because I actually got family in Texas and friends in Texas as well. But for the spirit of competition, as far as our sports are concerned, we are dominating Texas right now, and that needs to be mentioned. So big ups to the state of Louisiana for doing that as well. Also throw Tulane in there. Tulane messed over the Houston Cougars, by the way, on a really nice play. So think about that for a second. That's not a coincidence how all this stuff is happening, how we taking it to the state of Texas. Dada says, I'll tell y'all something. We're seeing some good coaching out of Peyton and the staff. They really starting to turn it up. Dada says, I'm telling y'all something. We're seeing some good coaching out of Peyton. Brandon Davis, who that? Brandon, he says, play well to eliminate the reps from affecting the game. Like I said in your past episode, Dennis Allen mixed it up in the zone and schemes. Very little man coverage. Brandon Davis called it. Brandon got on the phone. He was passionately saying that if you play too much man, you're going to lose. That was his word. So big ups to Brandon. Brandon, he brung out his crystal ball and he peered into it and he told the family. And that's why I say we got some of the greatest, brightest, and brilliant Saints brains in this platform, man. Big ups, Brandon. The rest of the family chiming in. Kyle says we must not take Tampa for granted. I agree with that. Tramal says Sean Payton making some stupid play calls. Sometimes he do, bro. Sometimes somebody need to pull him by the coattail and tell him, Coach Payton, don't do that. You know, and that's a part of it. You know, who's going to pull Coach Payton's coattail and say that's a dumb play, coach? Usually Drew Brees might be the one that changes the play because that's the only one that can do that. But you don't hear Carmichael don't look like the kind of dude that'll pull Payton's coattail and say, man, we ain't doing that. He just don't seem like it to me. Who else we got? DLP says Saints have to take control of these games early. Agree with that. Scoop says Oscar Goldman put Drew's shoulder back together, and he's been bionic ever since. Hope he assisted in his hand surgery. It was a different surgeon that did his hand. Some guy, I think, out of, if I want to say Houston or maybe California. I'm going to have to go back and do the look at the report again, but some of the family probably could fill us in on that. Donovan says, I definitely like how the defense is starting to gel and playing hard. They look terrific. You heard Cam talk about it. And right now I'm about to play another defensive captain for the New Orleans Saints chiming in, this Mr. Demario Davis. Let's see what Demario has to say about the win over the Cowgirls.
We knew they had, one of the most explosive running backs in the game and running behind a phenomenal offensive line. Dak has been nothing but phenomenal all year. And so we knew we had to get our shots in on the running back, and we knew we were going to have to keep hitting all game. We knew Dak he likes to run the show. He's doing a phenomenal job of getting the offensive line to set their protection, getting his receivers in the right routes. So we knew we had to hit him with multiple looks. We knew it was going to be a four-quarter battle, and we were just prepared to do that, and we were successful.
Demario, how important was, I don't want to say taking him out of the game, but certainly containing Ezekiel Elliott early on?
Well, yeah, when you're playing a running back like that, you have to be dialed in all game. You kind of have to take that type of challenge, personal. He's one of the most explosive running backs in the league. He can run the ball well. He can catch the balls out the backfield, and they're going to feed him. He's going to get his touches. He likes to do his duties because he likes to eat. So they're going to feed him. And so you take that challenge, and you got to get shots on him. And you can't stop. The whole game you got to be ready, and being able to contain him. It takes 11 guys.
Dak did really well all year, third down, in third quarter. Did y'all make a focus at halftime to keep doing what you were doing, or was there some discussion at halftime about doing something different?
Yeah, we knew trying to hit them with different looks early on would kind of throw them off. And then we knew that we kind of anticipated what type of adjustments they would make at halftime. Our coaches, DA, Coach Nolan Ryan, AG, all those guys did a phenomenal job of giving us a great game plan this week. And we knew all we had to do was kind of come in and execute, and if we execute the game plan well, we'd be all right. And I think ultimately that's what helped us prevail today.
As a defense, how much pride do you take in being part of the first time to win a game without
Wow, I didn't even know that. I think anybody that plays defense, wants to be a part of great defenses, and in an era where offenses are so explosive, to be able to hold a team to how many points do we hold them to? 10 points. An explosive offense is averaging 400 something yards a game. Telling how many points. So anytime you're able to do that, no matter when you do it, in this era, it's huge. I grew up watching, the great defenses of the Steelers and the Ravens, the Chicago Bears, and so you want to be a part of something like that because it takes incredible focus, preparation, detailed work, and it takes really great players to play at a high level like that consistently.
Demario Davis, man. Good thoughts from Demario, man. Well respected, man. We respect the hell out of Demario Davis because he plays the game the right way, man. He plays the game the right way. And for the black and gold brass, they definitely need to lock Demario Davis down contract. Speaking, his contract's coming due real soon. We got to definitely do something with and get Demario Davis back under contract. So big ups to everybody in the chat. Who that? Gary says, remember the refs are a union. That's a big point, Gary. And a lot of people research the unions. I read several books on them. I know a little bit about the unions, where they come from, going way back. And it all ties together, man. I'm telling you. these little factions occur and things happen. I keep saying when there's billions of dollars being played around, there's going to be some level of corruption and control. That's how it is. That's how it is in most things that operate in that gender. So we can't, excuse that, that thought from our heads. We still cognizant and intelligent people here. We got to understand the best way to control our destiny is that the Saints have to control it on the field. They have to be able to play mistake-free football, and they're starting to clean things up. I see a couple of the family members making points that Teddy Bridgewater, they're starting to see some improvement in Teddy Bridgewater's play. He doesn't look as scared as he did. I know a couple of people like Big Smoke Dog was saying that he was looking scared. That Smoke could tell you. I'm pretty sure Smoke could tell you now, man, he ain't looking as scared as he was the first couple of games. But, I mean, anybody will look kind of thrown off or distraught if you see Robert Quinn and DeMarcus Lawrence and the rest of those suckers, Jalen Smith coming at you, unabated. He was sacked 5 times for minus 40 yards, and the Saints still won the game. And then big credit to him because he didn't turn the ball over on the fumble. You get me? So think about that. He was sacked 5 times. He didn't turn the ball over. And you got to give him a hard credit shot. Remember, he hit that slide right there, and Smith hit him in his helmet. They didn't get the call right there. He slid on that surgically repaired leg. And guess what? That took heart. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he took shots to those legs too. Remember, DeMarcus Lawrence came around and took shots at his leg that drew the roughing the passer penalty. But Teddy stood in there and he made plays. He made things happen. He didn't hurt the team. He scrambled as well and did some things, man. Like I said, he seen an opening and he took it. And I keep telling people, they forget that Teddy Bridgewater can scramble. He had a scramble. He scrambled 3 times for about 8 yards, but he had one that really set up a nice little play. So, like I say, family, things are starting to improve. Things are getting better. We moving ahead on this here thing. Soldier for God said we should use Murray more. Hold on, let me switch to my screens here. For whatever reason, I can't read all you're saying. Let's see. Soldier for God, we should use Murray more. He did pretty good in the 4th quarter. Tell Sean Payton to pound the rock more. Don't give up on it. That's the thing that Sean Payton getting mad at himself. You heard him in the post game interview. Coach Payton was really kind of upset and kind of demeaning himself. He could have been really happy at how he won the game, but he was really demeaning himself. Matter of fact, I'm going to play a letter from Coach Payton so you can hear it for yourself, because I was supposed to play it last night, but we had audio issues where we couldn't play the sucker. But I'm going to just give me a second. We're going to spin it because I think it's something that the family should hear from Coach Payton, what he was saying. And Coach Payton was really kind of going in on the fact that he didn't like his game planning and how he kind of called plays that kind of set Bridgewater up for what could have been impending disaster. So Coach Payton, man, really looking at himself really hard and saying that he has to do a better job at play calling. So that's a big credit to Sean Payton, man, for doing that. So here's the coach. Let you listen to a few of his for what he was saying after the game.
A number of things that we want to improve on, and yet it's a good win against a good opponent, and we'll play in a lot of those close games, and I thought our guys finished well.
Given the opponent last year, you was a similar game, probably figured it would be one of these kind of scratch kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's sometimes you think that going in and it's the opposite, and then the other times, so I think you're really focused more on the things, the keys that we feel like to win the game are. Winning the turnover ratio, that was a key to victory. Winning the rushing battle, that was a key to victory. And then if you win both of those, you have a really good chance of winning the game, and I thought those were important stats. Well, I mean, I think it's what you said it is. We're 3-1, and you get back to work, you work on improvement. We're still early enough in the year, and I say this, I can't get into all the things that we're still not doing well, and yet we're doing enough to win some of these close games, and that's encouraging. But there's a lot of things fundamentally that we have to improve on, and so fortunately we're coaching off the win and not a loss, and making those corrections. But yeah.
What does this mean to the win
Well, look, I get angry at myself because it starts with me relative to some things maybe that we're putting in that we think will be easily replicated, and yet we get in the game, and recognize there are some challenges. It's a different group. It's different than a year ago. So we have to adjust a little bit better, and I think that really starts with me. I was pleased with how we ran the ball in the second half, and I thought that was significant. I hated my call at the end on third down where we took a sack. I know better. I put him in a tough position there. We were thinking field goal, to make it obviously a touchdown game, but I thought our special teams did a great job of controlling the field position, and then obviously defensively we were outstanding.
That's Coach family. You hear what Coach saying about it. He hated his call, and I mean that's real, man. You got to give Coach Payton a lot of credit for getting in front of the podium and really putting himself out on Front Street like that, because a lot of Saints family was feeling the same way. But it's hard to lambaste a man when he telling you the truth about his errors. And it was just, I tell you, man, it was really fascinating to see Coach Payton get up there and talk about that, because the reality of the situation is there had a lot of questionable calls dealing with how Sean Payton was doing in his game. And we keep going back to the overactive thought process about why we're not using Latavius Murray in short yardage packages, 3rd and 1 and all this kind of stuff. Why we not using them like we supposed to do it? Why the hell we not using them like that? Why we overusing? And I don't want to overuse Elvin Kamara. Even though he has the title, the featured back, but Latavius Murray was given all this money for a reason. So, the thought process is you got to mix up the backs. I know he's not considered a Ingram, but how the hell would you know what you have until you actually utilize him? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people missing Mark Ingram, but we haven't seen what Latavius Murray could do. The last 2 games he was given 6 carries. That's absolutely insane for a back of his size, and you have to fault the coach for running that kind of imbalance, man. But it's hard to fault him because you're winning games. But we saying we can win these games a little bit easier and better if we have the opportunity to be able to divvy up these snaps or these repetitions correctly. Give the ball up to Latavius on the short passing, on the short runs, if you need it. And he heard what the coach was saying. He was thinking field goal. He wasn't thinking touchdown. And my mind said, I want the goddamn touchdown. Let's get the touchdown. We don't have to play for field goals. But this is Coach Payton's getting a little bit conservative in his old age here. That 4 or 5 years ago, Coach Payton was going for a field goal, and I know he had Drew Brees there. For a touchdown, but I know he got Teddy Bridgewater in there, and now Drew Brees. But the mindset should still be the same, because you still have the same weapons. You still have Mike Thomas. You still have Elvin Kamara. You got a Jared Cook running out there who, despite the fact that he didn't show up like I wanted him to show up, he didn't hurt the team with drop passes or whatnot. So still in all, the Saints have a lot to improve on, family, but this is a positive thing. 3-1 sitting on top of the NFC South, knocking off the Cowboys. It's fun to beat the Cowboys, but remember family, the true purpose of this is to have the tiebreaker. We now have the tiebreaker on the Cowboys. So if we get to the playoffs and we get an opportunity to see the Cowboys, they have to come back here to New Orleans to play us in that dome. So, and we're going to remember this game. So that's the big thing. Now, just to let the family know, man, thank y'all for joining us on the live stream tonight. Who that to you, Cody? I see you, baby. Who that to you? And all the terrific people. Ricky, who that to you? He said, told you if you want to dance. What Ricky say here? Hold on, Ricky. Let me read your comment here, fam. Let's see. Ricky says, he said, I told you, Big Q. Hold on, Ricky said, I told you if you want to dance in the NOLA, put on your glass slipper, then we can do we can do the do-si-do. We took it to them, man. Big ups to the Saints for a nice win, man, getting the tiebreak over the Cowboys, because they're a good team. You're going to see them in the playoff. Best believe that. Scoop said I was praying that they used Murray most of the fourth quarter to preserve the win. He showed out on a couple runs. And I don't want our family to kind of get hard on Latavius Murray. Remember, Latavius Murray is only being given the opportunities afforded to him by Coach Sean Payton. But he's a rhythm guy. You got to give him the ball, at least give him 10 to 12 runs a game just to see what he can do. I'm telling you, this guy is a good back that can help you, like a second half runner. When you tire out the defense, then you put Latavius Murray, the battering ram, out there and just wear him down. You know, that's what we can utilize him for. Who that, Ramsey? I think Bridgewater have to start throwing deep and stop being scared. I think we need to score more. We definitely need to open up the deep route passes and throw down the field a little bit more. I think that's coming. School said, I guess once Murray learns this complicated playbook, he can get to show out more. Tramal says, does Teddy have the arm to throw deep? He has an arm to throw deep. He ain't got the biggest arm in the world, but he can throw that ball deep. Ramsey says our defense is straight, but still our offense has to score more while our defense is doing good. But that's how it's been. Sometimes, remember, before the defense became what they are over the last 2 years, the offense was carrying this team and the defense was struggling. Now that the Saints have built up the defense over the last year or so. Remember last year when the Saints opened up the season, the offense struggled out of the gate. And eventually the defense was playing well enough to kind of help them. The special teams was playing well enough to have. So sometimes you'll have one facet of the team that's not playing up to par, and then the other avenues that's playing have to cover them sometimes. That happens. But for many years, the Saints offense carried the Saints defense for many years down here. You know, it's good to see the defense catching on par. It's good to see the special teams finally catch up to what the offense is. Now we put the whole goddamn thing together and we see what we can do. Anyway, let's keep reading some of the comments, and just to let the family know, the lines are open if you want to call in and spit your game and talk your stuff about the Cowboys and the Saints, your thought process on the play call, your thought process on calls by the referees in the games, how you feel about the Saints win in general. The lines are open, so you could talk to me and let the Sports Coma Nation know what your thoughts are. And you know the number to call. Hold on, I don't even got my number up for the family here. Let me get the number up for the family so the family can call in, because usually I'll have my screen up with the number on it. But tonight, you know, when I'm traveling, it's hard for me to utilize it, and it's difficult to use the camera. And for whatever reason, my camera have an issue with that. But anyway, but it's still good to talk to the family. But let me give you guys the number. We're going to put it in the chat right quick. I'll tell you what, family. While that's going on, I got another little interview I want to spin for you. This is Drew Brees, man. I'm going to play Drew. Drew's thought on the Saints win over the Cowboys. Let's hear what he had to say about it. Here's Drew.
I love to watch our team grow and continue to get better and better. I think that was evident last week in Seattle. And it carried over into tonight as well, playing against a very, very good football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Can't say enough about the way our defense played tonight, keeping a lot of those playmakers at bay and getting a couple big turnovers. Offensively, I thought we moved the ball really well. I thought we ran the ball very well. I thought Teddy was very efficient. We had a lot of penalties, way too many penalties. Those are drive killers, and you know that hurt us today. But there's still so much room for growth and opportunity for this team, and I think guys feel it and they smell it, and everyone's contributing, you know, and that's the great thing too is guys all over the place are making plays and they're doing it for one another.
You got a lot of airtime in this game on the sideline. They watched your every move. I know when the last play was made, you were one of the first guys out there to hug your teammates. But what's your role during the game in terms of the other quarterbacks, in terms of the offense? I know this is kind of a different scenario for you.
Yeah, I just try to be as supportive as I can. So I try to go through very much the same routine as if I was playing the game. So I'm hearing the play call, and I'm going through my checklist of things that I would do as I walk to the line of scrimmage, and play the play out, you know, and play the situation out, and try to anticipate. You know, you do see different things from the sideline. Obviously, it's a bit easier from the sideline. You know, you don't have live bullets flying at you, but you can see certain things. You can see body language. You can see, you know, just little things that maybe you don't see because you're in the huddle or you're doing other things. And then these are things you can communicate to guys when they get back to the sideline. You go grab the tablet and you start, you know, you just analyze it just like I would, and just try to find tendencies and different things that I can pass along to certain guys, and hey, did you see this? You feel this? Be ready for this. Whatever it might be. I'm here to help and support and do whatever I can when I'm on the sideline.
That's Drew Brees, man. His thoughts, man, on the game and watching his teammates win the game against Dallas. Drew was ecstatic, man. He was running around jumping on people. I was thinking to myself, Drew, don't hurt that damn thumb. I wonder was anybody else thinking that, man. Don't hurt your damn thumb, Drew. He was jumping all over people. He had a lick of arm or a lick of pads on, running around there jumping on people. And I was like to myself, Drew, whatever you do, don't hurt your damn thumb celebrating. So I was good to see Drew out there, though. But anyway, let's keep it going, family. The TSC Live call-in number is 504-475-4482. You can feel free to call in. Holler at your boy, man. Let me know what your thoughts was on yesterday's fantastic game. It was real nice. It was special, man. To see the Saints be able to get the tiebreaker over the Dallas Cowboys. All the talk back and forth about the Cowboys being this, that, and the third, but that's why we play the games. That's why we play the damn games. Let's get back to the chat. Family members talking it up. Jamal says, okay, but we need to take some deep shots. I agree. Cody says, who that Cody says a win is a win. Scoop says Dallas D was balling out. It was not as conservative as it looks to want the field goal instead of the potential mistake throwing it deep. You're looking at that, throwing it deep, and obviously Coach Payton seen the mistakes that the offensive line was making with the pass rush getting in there. But like you know, common sense football. If you got a tough pass rush, one of the best ways to neutralize a pass rush is to run right at it. Run right at them. You got aggressive pass rushers. You have to. It was pretty good to see that happen. And I think that if you look at what the Saints were able to put together tonight, man, it was actually, put together yesterday, it was a damn good performance, man, to be able to get the win. So anyway, man, it was a real good game, big game for the Saints. They got the tiebreaker against the team, and that's all that matters, man. So let's keep it going. Shout out for San Antonio. We've been talking trash all day. I'm going to enjoy this week. Soldier for God says. That's big ups to you, family. We got the win, man. So that was huge. Huge win by the team. And I just appreciate the fact that the Saints, man, we just classy, man. We just did it the right way. So big time win, man. Lions, the live stream is ongoing, family. The number is, like I said, the live number is out there. TSC live call-in number is 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. Feel free to call in and talk about what you want to talk about the win or whatnot. Now, before we finish up, I want to play a little bit of another guy that was blown away by it. This is what some of the other guys are talking about the Saints win. Here's another one.
Let me start with this. So once again, we have a Dak Prescott game where you can take two angles. I'll tell you the angle I take, which is Dallas had no running game, playing a great defense. Amari Cooper could not get open at all. Jason Witten fumbled. Zeke, but it was called a fumble. Last play of the game, Dak's in position, throwing a Hail Mary for a chance to win. Or you could take this angle. What? No Drew Brees. Saints never score a touchdown. Our defense is unbelievable. And we can't make one play. Dak can't make one huge play. And the funny thing is, both of those are true. And I'm okay with it. Tell my wife this all the time. Happiness is expectations. About 2 months ago, I went to a store with my daughter, and I bought a bunch of cheap T-shirts. They were about $7 a T-shirt. My expectation was those will be good for about 4 washes. And then they just won't fit. And tried to get one on yesterday. It was done. 4 washes. I sit in the back of the plane. My expectations are different than when I'm fortunate enough to sit near the front of the plane. What are your expectations? If you're waiting for jaw dropping with Dak, that's on you. That's not on Dak.
All right, well, that's enough of him. He started riding Dak's jock as opposed to giving the credit to what the Saints. I thought he was going to lead to it and saying, well, look, depending on how you're looking at it. The bigger story is not Dak Prescott losing the game. It's the Saints winning the game because of the fact that they had a backup quarterback and all the adversity. But this is the narrative. Anyway, great win for the Saints, like I said, man. It's real terrific. 504-475-4482. As we read in the chat, a lot of family members. Big up to the family members chiming in tonight on the live stream show, man. Like I said, we sometimes, man, we have a special surprise stream. We'll jump on you and drop on you tonight. But it was real fascinating to see, hear it. I just like, man, look at all this foolishness going on with all these people and all of the madnesses that was happening in terms of how people were behaving because of the fact that the Cowboys lost. Who the hell are Cowboys supposed to be? I mean, who are they supposed to be? You know, I don't know anybody outside of Dallas Cowboys fans that picked them to go to be a Super Bowl team. But all of a sudden, he go to media machine behind the Cowboys pushing them. And I'm like, you know, it was real curious stuff because we don't do stuff like this down here in the Black and Gold Nation. We don't go bob all your damn tickets so we can try to control your arena. That's what they tried to do. They try to bob as many tickets as they can so they can neutralize the crowd noise by having their fans there. The problem is their fans are not louder than ours. Even when we are 25% or 30% of an away team stadium, you still hear us over them. You heard when you were in the Rams. Go back and listen to the Rams game. You heard more Saints fans cheering than you heard Rams fans in that matchup. We are loud. We come and we make an impact. You know, and a lot of people can't say that. Not to talk mess about another person's squad, but I know my squad. When we're going to be loud. We're going to cause problems, you know? So that was the great thing. But you hear all these damn stories out here, 3 takes away from the Cowboys, questionable calls by the Cowboys and all this. How about the fact that you just got your ass handed to you in terms of the defense came out and literally shut you down? You know, let's just give them that. How about the fact that the Saints shut you down? You couldn't run the ball. You had 200-something yards passing, but you had ineffective passing, basically dinking and donking. And what we gave you. It's basically what happened. We gave you whatever we allowed you to do, they took it. And for the most part, it was ineffective. That's the story behind the story. Is the fact that the Saints defense woke up and shut down which was supposed to be one of the NFL's top passing offenses. And the almighty Zeke Elliott, who was unstoppable, who could not be taken down, but ultimately what the Saints did. So it's just a brilliant play altogether. That's why I said at the end of the day, this team has always and will always be a excellent team as long as, man, I just feel real good about it, man. Y'all feel good about it, family? I know Kelvin in the building. Who that, Kelvin? I see what he's saying about it. Kelvin's feeling good. And that's what I'm saying about my team, family. They don't understand, family. They don't get it, baby. They don't understand, baby. They don't have the vision, baby. You got to have the vision. You gotta understand, baby. You can't. See, if I gotta tell you, baby, if I gotta tell you, then you don't already know, baby. You gotta already feel it and know, baby. And you see Rex Ryan and all these guys sitting up on the television. That big-eyed guy that played for Pittsburgh, he's sitting up there with his eyes wide open, but he can't see, baby. How you got big eyes like that, baby, and they closed like that? How you got big old eyes and they're wide open, but he still can't see, baby? If I gotta explain it to you, baby, you'll never get it, baby. You'll never get it, baby. It's something spiritual, baby. That's what it's coming down to. And that's what I'm saying, man. Thank you, Reverend Saint. Reverend Saint jumped in there, family. He had to explain it. I can't explain it like that. But the Reverend did, man. The Reverend had to explain Reverend had a little music playing with him for a second. Oh, man. Reverend had a little music playing with him for a second. Reverend don't need no music, man. He don't need the organ. He don't need the. He can get the organist the night off. The Reverend to talk. He don't need the organist. Oh, man, come on. But it feel good though, family. Call in number for the family to call in tonight. I know. Let me see if I can dig it up for you. 504 family 475-4482. Call in number if you want to spit your game. Talk about your thoughts on the matchup. Saints getting the best of them stinking rotten Cowboys. The call in number is 504-475-4482. You can call in tonight, family. Chime in the lines are open. The lines are definitely open. And that was something, another news item I wanted to talk to family members about too, man. It's about Larry Warford restructuring his contract. That was a story that kind of got past me, man. And a lot of people probably realize, a lot of people probably didn't know that, family, but I was supposed to cover this last show about Larry Warford's reconstruction of his contract. Let me see if I can pull that up, because I was going over that. And I wanted to talk about Larry Warford. You know, Larry Warford had a nice contract with the Saints, and let me see here. Let's go over it. And this is one of the stories that came on. This was from the Saints Wire, and this, of course, was broken by the fact that he reworked his contract to create some cap space. And this was reported by ESPN on the 26th of September about Larry Warford's contract. I don't know how the hell it got past me. Well, actually, I was going to report on and talk to about the last show, but Phil Yates was the one that broke it. The Saints converted $5.5 million of Larry Warford's base salary into a signing bonus, which is creating $2.75 million of cap. Now, New Orleans was amongst the teams tightest to the cap prior to the restructure. Now, think about this. This should have been a story that was covered. I was talking about somebody might be getting ready to come here. Saints converted $5.5 million of Larry Warford's base salary into a signing bonus, creating a $2.75 million space cap. I mean, a space gap right there. So basically, the Saints creating some salary there to get ready to sign somebody. We about to get into October, baby. So that could be meaning the Saints' most needed position currently is the wide receiver position. We could use a little experience that, or we perhaps kind of getting ready. We getting ready, baby. We getting ready. We getting ready to take a stab at Zeke Elliott. I mean, not Zeke Elliott. Dez Bryant, perhaps. I'm just saying. You know, usually when you're clearing cap and you're converting salaries and stuff like that, the Saints did this last year when they signed Dez Bryant. His window was we about to sign. His window is mid-October. Could he be a little earlier? Hey, man. Kelvin says we need another O-lineman. We do, Kelvin. I ain't gonna lie, man. Patrick Omame, Will Clapp had a hand injury. You have Nick Eason. I mean, the offensive line behind, I mean, if it just scares the living bejesus out of me, bro, that if something would have happened with one of our 5 offensive linemen, who the hell do we have to come in there to actually make some plays? You know? I mean, come on, man. I mean, you right on that, Kelvin. That's true. But 2.75 mil, man. I don't know. That could be a move for getting ready for who. For Dez Bryant. Now, we do need an offensive line, but we will be more pressing. You definitely need a wide receiver, too, to kind of take. But just imagine having Dez Bryant, a healthy Dez Bryant running around in there with Jared Cook and Ted Ginn Jr., who's healthy, and Mike Thomas, Elvin Kamara. You finally implement Latavius Murray, and you get all those pieces working together. It's just amazing, man. And I hate to just kind of bounce away from that, get to that talking, but that Larry Warford thing is really something else. Soldier for God says Larry was getting abused last night. They did the right thing, taking money from him. They ain't take money away from him. They just converted some of his salary. It took some of his money and converted it off of his yearly salary into a signing bonus and give it to him. That's basically what they do with Drew Brees. When people say Drew's taking pay cuts, he's not taking a pay cut. Drew don't give no pay cuts, and he don't take no home discounts. Drew want all his money. Basically what they do is they take a chunk of whatever the money guaranteed throughout the year that they're getting ready, that's on the books, and they just convert a portion of that to an actual signing bonus right then and there. So it comes off the books and it creates a space. That's not a cut and pay. They just giving you your money in a different way. And that's what's happening with Larry Warford. He got beat up in this game. I ain't gonna lie to you. He looked terrible, but the whole damn line looked terrible. Larry Warford didn't look no worse than Teron Armstead. Armstead looked like somebody took big carpenter nails and beat it into the top of his feet, both feet, and he just couldn't move. Like when he got up and moved, he just was standing still the whole night. guys running past him, spinning him around like one of them doors that you go into, and you go through the little turnaround doors, and they go. That's what Teron Armstead looked like, a turnaround door. He looked like one of them spinning doors. He couldn't do a damn thing. Guys just spinning them around like a spinning top. But that wasn't just him. Ryan Ramczyk was getting beat. Larry Walford was getting beat. Andrus was getting beat, and even McCoy didn't clean up on the blocks like the way there was an overall pathetic effort in terms of pass blocking for the offensive line. But the offensive line, man, to be honest with you, they are a prideful group, very prideful group. So I don't anticipate them, man, taking this lightly. And whoever they play, which is Tampa Bay coming up, get ready. They're going to bust ass because Sean Payton is furious about how his offensive line played. And you talking about these are all Pro Bowlers. Every last one of these guys, except for Eric McCoy, were Pro Bowlers. Ramczyk, Warford, Pete, and Armstead. All those guys are Pro Bowl offensive linemen. They're gonna take this. They're gonna take this to heart, man. You best believe that. Stephen Will says, I'm thinking Dez also. No doubt about it. It's September coming up. Dez Bryant's on the books. It says his time is middle September. Man, the Saints have a need for that veteran wide receiver at the position. I mean, it's just 1 and 1 is 2 to me. That's what I'm saying. It could possibly be they might be looking at an offensive lineman, but he didn't take a lot of money last year to come here. And it'll be an excellent addition to be able to have a guy like that to come in here. But converting that money into a salary, that money right now and freeing up that capital right now is a pretty slick move by the Saints. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to make a move, man. They're about to make a move. But anyway, family, that's one of the fantastic things we're doing tonight, man. It's just going over this great game the Saints were able to put together. Offensively speaking, we need to clean it up. 0-4 in the red zone is ridiculous. I mean, for a team as prolific as the Saints offense, 0-4, man, that stinks. That's absolutely terrible. 0-4 in the red zone. That's horrible. We can't do no crap like that. We got to do better than that, man. But I like the fact how the Saints were swarming themselves, getting at Dak Prescott, shutting down Zeke Elliott, shutting down Amari Cooper, shutting down Randall Cobb. The Saints did a fantastic job in other areas of the game, and the offense didn't hurt them from winning the game. So big ups to the Saints. Next foe, we get back to our 12 o'clock games. All these other games we was playing was at nighttime or in the afternoon. Buccaneers, we have them in a dome coming up this upcoming Sunday. We're not going to preview the game tonight. We'll do another show on that, probably the weekend show, the Saturday show. We'll preview the Bucs game. We'll have the injury report. We'll have all the latest information throughout the week, and whatever little surprises the Saints make, ultimately get ready for the Bucs, because the Bucs had a really big win, man. That was a big freaking win over the Rams. I mean, seriously, that was a huge win for them to smack the Rams in the face like that. They beat them 55-40, man. I mean, that was astronomical. And prior to that, their biggest win was by 6 points. And they just exploded on the Rams in Los Angeles and just took it from them. So, man, and you gotta look at it. It's gonna be something special, man. It's gonna be something special, man. We're just gonna have to wait and see how it turns out. But we're gonna preview that game coming up Saturday. So once again, family, 504-475-4482 is the call-in number. I'm gonna throw it out there one more time. 504-445-4782 is the number. 504-475-4482. Let's see what some of the family questions, concerns, or comments. Feel free to answer them in the chat right now, family. Let's see what some of the family members. Brandon, who that Brandon? Brandon says, hold on, it just scrolled on me, Brandon. Give me a second, man. I'm going to read that comment. Kelvin says, we need another offense. Soldier for God says, Larry was getting abused. Kyle says, Dez going to be nice. Stephon Wells, who that says, I'm thinking Dez also. Brandon, who that Brandon? Saying a healthy Dez gonna make our offense more high powered. Big ups to that comment. Tremal says Armstead was getting abused. Kyle says Armstead was doing the Cupid shuffle. Armstead looked like a big vending machine, like I call Zach Strief the vending machine, because when Zach Strief toward the back end of his career, he couldn't do nothing. I mean, it was like having a big vending machine, a Coca-Cola machine, a big one. and you put skates underneath it and just push it where you want. That's how pretty much what the hell Teron Armstead wasn't exactly a vending machine because guys ain't push them, they just spun around them. So I was like calling him one of them spinner, them turnabout doors, man. That's what the hell he looked like. Couldn't do nothing, man. Couldn't do nothing. He couldn't even hold them. I mean, it was like, I was like, wow, the Cowboys are really that fast, and they were just faster than our O-line, man. But Sean Payton was saying, man, a lot of that fact. Call. Let's see if who's calling. Hold on here. Right. Give me just a second. Okay, we have a problem. Hold on, family. Hold on here. Hold on, I'm gonna have to. All right, family, hold on. Just give me a second. I'm gonna give you call it. We had a problem opening up that number for whatever reason. I don't know why it is with this particular software that I'm usually using on the road. It gives us a problem. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try another way to get you on the air. So please feel free to call back again quickly, and I promise you I'll get you on the air. So come on, call back, family. I got it. I had to use an alternative calling system, and I got it up right now because that one we just used has some type of issue. I don't know what the hell wrong with it, but that's why I said we keep on moving, man. We'll make sure. So please call back, and I'll make sure I get you in there. All right, here we go, family. All right, you're listening to Sports Coma. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this is DJ.
What up, DJ? How you doing, family? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. Shout out to who that? You think Stephon Anthony is gonna play in the Thursday game?
One more time, DJ. I ain't hear you, brother.
I said, do you think Stephon Anthony is gonna play in next week's game?
Stephon is he'll play in the next week's game. I don't know if Stephon Anthony. I don't think you mean in terms of probably in special teams or something like that. Probably in special teams, DJ. I don't know if you know enough of the special teams to do it, but then again, you got to remember too, Stephon Anthony went to Miami. One of the things that we probably have to look at, but in terms of him playing in the game, maybe in the special teams, it's not a foregone conclusion to say that he won't. But you still have guys like Ray Armstrong, but I don't see why Stephon Anthony wouldn't be able to contribute.
I mean, because I don't know if he got a new playbook on defense, but he used to live up on defense.
Stephon Anthony, man, I'm a Stephon Anthony guy, man. I think when he came in, he got a raw deal from the Saints organization. He was a first-round draft pick. A lot of people saying Stephon Anthony was poo, he was garbage, all this kind of stuff. But when the guy was drafted with a first-round draft, I think it was 14 or 15 or something like that when they drafted him. I have to go back and look at it. I know he was a first-round draft pick. It was the pick that they got from the Jimmy Graham trade. And when he came in, the guy started, he was calling the defensive plays as a rookie. He broke Ricky Jackson's rookie tackle record in his first year. Then the second year he had injuries, and third and fourth year he went steadily down. And during that time frame, the Saints were changing coordinators, they were changing schemes, they went from all this kind of stuff. And I think it not only affected him, but it affected several other players that was in the Saints organization. Even Hicks, big Akeem Hicks, who played for the Chicago Bears, he was talking about it. I covered it on several shows ago when he was talking about how the Saints were doing some incredibly stupid things during that period of time. And I think they gave up on Stephon Anthony a little too early. But you don't break Ricky Jackson's rookie tackle record and then go all the way downhill and be like, well, the guy is garbage. No, the guy wasn't garbage. He was a fantastic player. I think he lost confidence in the system and he went elsewhere. But Dan Rizzi is familiar with Stephon Anthony because he coached the special teams, and Stephon was a special teams linebacker out there. So it's a possibility you could probably see him in a special team capacity. I wouldn't say so much in a starting capacity, him moving in and being like a linebacker playing in spots for him. I don't see that right now.
He got Demario Davis on the side and everything. Everybody else on that.
Because with DeMario, AJ Klein, you have Kiko Alonso, who Sean Payton and Dennis Allen really big on. Those guys have ahead of him. You still got Craig Robertson now. Then you got guys like what's his name? Oh man, the linebacker that came from the 49ers, I forget the man name. Armstrong, Ray Armstrong. So I mean, you got guys like that that's ahead of Stephon Anthony, and I'm saying that he has some familiarity with the Saints defense, but I don't see him playing like getting snaps in the defense because he buried on that depth chart. Like I said, you still have AJ is DeMario, AJ, Kiko Alonso, Craig Robinson, and then he just came in, which he'll be on the back end of that rotation. You see what I'm saying? So if you looking to see Stephon Anthony right now, you probably won't see him right now. Probably down the line, if something were to happen in terms of injuries down the line when he gets a little bit more acclimated to the system, if the Saints, choose to use him that way, you get what I'm saying? But right now, I just don't see it. There are too many guys ahead of him.
Oh, man, I just wanted to be the first caller, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Who That Nation. We're 3-1, and it's all right.
Thank you, DJ, man. Appreciate it, brother. We had to reschedule the Pelican post-game report, man. I was waiting. I got some interviews. Today the Pelicans did their big thing when they talked about, brung out all the players and they did the media day today. So I won't be able to add that. We're going to cover that. Right, we're going to cover that on the next show. I'm thinking the Pelican post-game report, that'll happen probably Wednesday. Wednesday, we'll cover all of that. We'll have some interviews. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down, break the roster down. We'll look at the schedule, and we'll talk about it, man. It's going to be a nice show, man. So be looking out for that one.
Hey, one more question. Are you going to attend any Pelican games this season?
I'm going to try, DJ, man. I'm definitely going to try, man. I got the Pelicans games, man. The schedule is real convenient for my scheduling because I'm mostly more like a weekend guy, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. Often not. Sometimes I might get to Monday or Tuesdays in there, but mostly on the weekends. And I was looking at the schedules. The schedules fits real good. So more than likely, I probably will be attending some Pelican games. I know you be in the building down there, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why when you do the post game report, like after the first game, I'll be probably heading home, so I won't be able to catch that.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But more than likely, we'll have it on replay or whatever. We'll have a few live games and a few of our audio podcasts, which we do right maybe 30 minutes after the game is. We hit you with the interviews. We talk about the breakdown like we was doing over the last several years of covering the Pelicans. But, we'll make sure we fit it in there the best way we can, DJ. We probably, if you don't catch it, you probably catch it on the replay or whatnot. But to all our Pelican people out there, DJ is a Pelican man. He loves the Pelicans and the Saints as well as I do. And if you are a Pelican fan as well, please feel free to subscribe to the Pelican Post-Game Report channel. That is our passionate Pelican channel as well. We talk about the Pelicans like we talk about the Saints, baby. So if you're a Pelican fan, Pelican Post-Game Report is your channel. We cover that as well. Thank you, DJ, for calling, baby. Who that to you? Be safe, brother. All right. Peace, brother. That's DJ, man. Good brother, man. Passionate Pelican fan as well as Saints fan, man. And I tell you what, man, it's a great thing to be either or. But family, yeah, that's any great calls. We got some more calls coming in. Family, you can feel free to call 504-475-4482. That's 504-475-4482. Say it one more time. 504-475-4482. Let's read some of the chat. What's going on with the family members? Robert says, I hope Dez will be in football shape. Tramal says, at least D-Law was quiet, though. Tramal talk about D-Law. That's the dude that got the podcast that talk about the Cowboys. I can't stand those. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know, man. I don't like it. Okay, we get another call, man. Let's hear what some of the family members got to say. All right, you rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Who am I speaking with?
What's going on, Big Q? This Kyle Davis.
What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, man, can't complain. Look, I just want to give a shout-out to your channel, man. I joined it maybe last week, and, man, I'm liking what I'm hearing from you, man. Liking what I'm hearing.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate the love and the support, man. Thank you for joining us and being part of the family, my brother. What you think about the game tonight, yesterday, my brother? What's your thoughts on it?
It was a victory. It wasn't pretty. It was out the mud, out the gutter.
Right.
I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so I mean, hey, we just got to get it in how we fit it in, you know.
Amen to that, brother. I hear a lot of the people, man. A lot of the people out here saying they really surprised. The Saints took down this team. They took down the Cowboys. I'm not surprised, bro. You know, why all these clowns out here so surprised that the Saints beat somebody like the Cowboys or same deal with all these other teams? Like the Saints are not supposed to be winning this game. But why is the thought process, in your opinion, why is the thought process so terribly different than ours, man? I mean, this is football. We could play football down here, bro. Why everybody thinking we some scrubs? I don't get that.
See, in my opinion, since the last 3 to 4 years, it's just been, you know, back to back. The Saints done got this far, okay, the next year. The Saints done got past that last year, okay. The third year, the Saints done got past that last year, and it's just, I'm not understanding what these analysts and what these sports critics don't get about the Saints. Like, we, like, die hard. Like, we coming. We here. Like, it's no backing down. We the underdogs, like you said. Like, it's nothing. It's Super Bowl, baby. That's it. That's my motto. It's Super Bowl, baby. That's it. I'm not understanding Stephen A. Smith. I'm not understanding Cole Hard. I'm not understanding Rex Ryan. I don't know. They just appeal to the media, to the, you know, the haters. And they not really justifying the truth that the Saints are here to take everything, was rightfully ours. So I just don't understand.
Well, brother, you sound like Reverend Saint, man. Reverend Saint said in the Reverend Saint said in the last podcast, brother, he said, you can't take from us what's ours, baby. You can't take it from us, baby.
Yes, sir. Rev be having me going, man. Rev be having me going.
Well, I appreciate your call, my brother. Thanks for your support, my man. Thank you, brother.
But another thing,
yes, sir.
About Dez, man, I really hope he can, you know, come our way and really make this happen for us. You know, we can make it happen without him, but it'll be a good addition with him to really, really solidify this for us. So that's what I want to say about that.
Well, brother, he said his time frame, bro. The Saints, you know, you can read between the lines. He definitely looked like he coming. But I appreciate you, my man, for calling, bro. Hold on. I got hold of you for a second here. But I appreciate the fact that, you know, you brought that up, dealing with Dez Bryant, because his time frame, man, is middle October, and the fact that the Saints have, like we just covered here, the Larry Warford deal, they clearing up money. Why you clearing up money? And October's coming, so that might be a small indicator, bro, that Dez Bryant could be on this team. And man, it's right at the right time, baby. I love it, man. We gonna have him talking here, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, bro, for joining the show, my man. Appreciate your love. Be cool, baby. Who that?
All right, who that?
All right, family. That was a really great call there. You rocking with the Sports Coma, who I'm speaking with?
Hey, man, it's Tyrese, man. I just subscribed to you yesterday.
What's up, Tyrese? Oh, thank you, brother. Tyrese, who that to you, my man? What's on your mind? What's on your mind tonight, my brother? You like the fact that the black and gold took it to them stinky rockin' Cowboys? How you feel about that, brother?
Man, that was expected, man. We should have won that game last year.
Yes.
But, you know, we a top team, so it's nothing less to be expected. My only concern is Teddy Bridgewater and his holding on to the ball. I think he needs to drop it off quicker than what he's doing.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, bro. I mean, you've seen since he's been in the game, 2-0, record 2-0. 2-0, right. That's big, because prior to the 2-0, the last time the Saints won a game, just a game without Drew Brees, was when Aaron Brooks was here, man. That was like in 2004 or 5. You know how long? I mean, but that's just outstanding of how Drew Brees were able to kind of just right the ship for that long. But Teddy Bridgewater, 2-0. Do you see a lot of people, Big Scoob Scoob said it, Smoke Dog in the chat said it. A lot of the family members are saying the same thing about him holding the ball a little bit too long. But do you see improvement since the first time that he stepped out there? I know he stepped out there in that Rams contest and he looked really kind of pathetic. But since then, you seen any improvement in his game from game to game you won't talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember when Teddy was with the Vikings, and he was really good. He had a quicker release. I don't know if it's like the trust he has in the receivers, because when it's Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara, he fires off. But with the other receivers, you know, he's holding on because the corners are pressing the receivers really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as time improves, he'll get better, because when he was at the Vikings, you know, this guy is a number 1 round pick. You know, his first season 9-7, and the second one he led him to the playoffs. Right. And you know, he was playing against the Legion of the Boom at the time at their prime. And you know, maybe he didn't score any touchdowns, but he was leading field goals. So, you know, I think this guy is the future too. But he's got a little nervousness because you know he don't want to break his knee down, or he don't want to make mistakes too.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tyrese, man, you look at the fact that in that game against the Cowboys, it was 2 plays that I got to talk about. You know, you're bringing it to mind. Number 1, the play when DeMarcus Lawrence went around Ryan Ramczyk and landed at Bridgewater's legs, and they got the roughing the passer call. The other one, when he slid, when he ran, when the pocket opened up and he took off and he slid on that knee. You know, those were 2 big plays that showed a lot of confidence and kind of showed me that he, you know, that fear is starting to kind of subside or go away. But, you know, what do you think about that, man?
You know, I think he's getting into the flow too, you know. Drew Brees went down, so, you know, he got something to prove too, you know. He's fighting to be the heir of the Saints because, you know, this guy could have left and went to the Dolphins to be the start over there. But he said, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to learn and I'm going to get better too. Because you learning after MVP quarterback, you know, a future Hall of Fame. You know, I think Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady. The only difference between them is Tom Brady's always had a defense. But, you know, Teddy Bridgewater, you know, he's learning. And as time goes by, he'll start connecting for touchdowns and he'll start throwing the deep ball too.
You know what? That's a great point, Tyrese. That's an excellent point that we don't bring up because we so caught into the nowness of the moment. You know what I'm saying? We caught in the nowness of the moment about Teddy Bridgewater just needing to win enough games to buy Drew Brees some time to come back so we can get back to Super Bowl level. Right now, we at a playoff level, and we just buying time for Drew to get back to winning games. See, we kind of forget about the aspect that this guy is here to show us or to prove to the Saints nation, the Saints family, the black and gold family, that he is looking to show you that he can be the heir and take this team into the future. That's a great point, Tyrese.
Yeah, because Taysom Hill, you know, he's gotten better too, but I don't really know if he can do 4 full quarters of leading the team. You know, because Teddy Bridgewater, he used to it. And, you know, when you seen Taysom Hill in college, all he doing was just running the ball down the field. Now, he can, he can truck people and destroy them, but, I'm not really sure if I would have, put the game in his hands. But what I can say about Taysom Hill is he's a spark. You know, he's been doing that for, the past 2 years, just sparking every play. But I'd rather Teddy Bridgewater. And I feel like Teddy Bridgewater can lead the team to the playoffs. You know, he's capable of doing that. And plus, you got all this talent. And, you know, the Saints defense not choking like they normally did. Like those 3 back-to-back 79 seasons.
Right.
And, you know, just got better. You know, Marcus Williams got better. As trash as T.J. Williams is, you know, it seems like he's finally gelled in. Eli Apple, as much as we roast him, he's finally doing some blanket coverage because, you know, he's been quiet the last couple of games. He might get burnt once or twice, but, overall, he's got it. And Marshawn Lattimore, we're going to have to pay that man. That's one thing I wanted to talk to you about is how do you think the order of us paying our players should be? Because Alvin Kamara's got to get paid. Ryan Ramczyk, he's got to get paid because he's been shutting down these elite defensive ends. You know. So what do you think about that?
Well, this it started with Cam getting this money, then Mike Thomas, then Sean Payton. The next shoe is it might not be it has to be Alvin Kamara. He's behind those guys. He's the most important player on the team. Then you look at guys like Demario Davis. Then there's Marshawn Lattimore. Then there's Ryan Ramczyk that's coming up. So Von Bell is coming up. And I don't, to be truthful, I don't know if the Saints. He's probably one of the ones that I'm looking at that might ultimately end up not making it, or because somebody's gonna pay Von Bell. Is he out there? Von Bell is a guy that's he's one of the most underrated guys on his team. Only thing, he doesn't get the interceptions, but if you look at his career spanning back, he's always either second or third or fourth on the team in tackles. I mean, behind Demario Davis, since Demario has here. So it's several really highly productive and high character guys on his team that the Saints really need to get under contract. And that's why I think they're kind of holding on to a lot of that draft capital, because they understand that they might lose some pieces. You don't forget you got Sheldon Rankins coming up and David Onyemata. They were in the same draft. What you gonna do with those guys? And it's right. And Eli Apple, even though you don't like, a lot of people don't like Eli Apple, you still, if you let him go, you still gonna have to find somebody to replace him with. So, like I was saying, man, it's a lot of players. But if I had to put to it a list behind it, looking at popularity, about productivity and high quality guys, caliber guys, you got to put Alvin Kamara next. It's got to be Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara followed by Marshawn Lattimore. Those guys you got to get down there. Then Demario Davis. That's my opinion on the order.
Okay. How many years do you think Drew Brees has left? Because Tom Brady is 42, and then those two quarterbacks are probably like the greatest of all time. Drew Brees may not have the accolades, but he has the statistics too. And he's been carrying this team through the dark ages too. Like his first year in the black and gold, he brought us to the NFC Championship, and then like 2 or 3 years later, we won the Super Bowl. Like, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Well, the information behind Drew is, even Mickey Loomis, when Mickey Loomis did his press conference, we covered it here, we had it on the show. And Mickey's basically saying that they're comfortable with him doing a year-by-year deal type situation. So he wasn't, if he was playing it honest with us, he wasn't exactly sure. But as it stands, according to what the information is coming out from him and the administrators, is that they are comfortable with Drew doing year-to-year deals. The really interesting caveat of the whole Drew Brees thing, but that Mickey Loomis commentary was done prior to Sean Payton signing that 5-year extension. So with Sean signing for 5 years, that has to put something in Drew Brees' mind. Maybe perhaps I can kind of play for another couple of years. And I want to kind of piggyback your point about Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Drew will never catch Tom Brady in terms of Super Bowls. Like you astutely said, he had a defense. He had more of a complete team for the longer duration. For whatever reason, we played around and didn't build a defense like we were supposed to. And we were saying that for years.
Yeah, I think in 2009.
Right. And if for whatever reason we didn't key in on getting that together right away to give him a more balanced team to contend with, the Patriots always kept that defense up that helped Tom Brady to win those Super Bowls. But I think that Tom and Drew are tied at the hip so far, because even though Tom might have the Super Bowls, Drew have all the stats. And if you look at some of the key stats that they're competing with, the touchdowns and the record, some of that stuff, they're direct competition with each other. And I'm thinking probably when those guys retire, they'll probably retire around the same time. And I wouldn't be surprised if Drew Brees played for another couple of years to kind of solidify those statistics. Because even though people say Drew Brees don't care about stats, that's a goddamn lie. Drew Brees, he's a legacy guy. Drew is a legacy guy. He's playing for legacy. And people have been telling Drew Brees his entire life that he was too small to play quarterback, and he's showed everybody wrong. Only thing he did was take down all of the records that he possibly could. And that's what Drew Brees do. He specializes in proving you wrong. So I wouldn't bet against him with Sean Payton getting that 5-year deal. Drew could possibly be around for another couple of years. So we'll just have to see how it go. But Teddy Bridgewater, if he keeps playing, he presents an interesting situation in there. Now Taysom Hill, that's a whole nother different kettle of fish. As long as they're using as a utility man, I don't foresee him taking the quarterback role, because Sean Payton sees his value more as a utility guy playing special teams. If I valued you, Tyrese, as a quarterback, I would not jeopardize you as a quarterback playing special teams. I would not. That's a way I would get you hurt. You could get hurt playing special teams. If I valued you as a quarterback, I would not play you on the special teams. I'll find somebody else to run down there. But it's different. Right. It's just certain little indicators that I watch with this team, man, despite the things that they say. But that's my opinion on it. I think Drew would probably play for another couple of years. And why would he walk away from Elvin Kamara and Mike Thomas's 5-year deal, Sean Payton 5-year deal, Cam Jordan 5-year deal? All these guys have 5-year deals mirroring each other. Why would Drew Brees walk away and will Kamara get his money? It's probably going to be a 4 or 5-year deal. When Marshawn Lattimore gets his money, it's going to be a 4 or 5-year deal. So you have a 5-year window. Why would Drew Brees say, you know what, I'm going to retire and walk away from that when he has an opportunity to win a couple more Super Bowls by standing in, that have Michael Thomas? Who walks away from Michael Thomas and Elvin Kamara in their primes? Only a fool.
All right. I'm gonna just say one more thing too, because I know you got other callers and you got to do your thing. This honestly should be the fourth Super Bowl run. Because these teams that luckily beat us, they got smashed in the mouth the next game. I am expecting us to go to the NFC Championship and win it all. I think it will be the Saints versus the Patriots, but otherwise, I think we got something good going on.
I agree with you, Tyrese, man. Thank you, brother, for that great spirited black and gold prediction, baby. Thank you, baby. Appreciate that. That was excellent, baby. Thank you. Thank you, my man. Thank you for your support. Who that, baby? Peace.
Take it easy, man.
That's Tyrese, man. Appreciate you, Tyrese, for the call. Great call from Tyrese, man. It says that a new subscriber of the show, he likes what he's hearing. Great calls, man. You know what? I appreciate, let me just say this. I thank all of the new listeners and the established listeners, because it's the established family that's in the building that have been riding with the Sports Coma from day one. I'd like to thank you guys, and I'd like to thank all the new family members that's chiming in too, man, for finding us and all of the great love and respect that they're showing. That just make me go 100%, 1,000% more to deliver great content and provide a really great platform for the family to come and congregate and we talk about our great, beautiful black and gold. So I like to thank all the great callers that we have. And family, we got about 15 more minutes left on the live stream. The number is open for people to call. Feel free to call. And just when I say that, we're getting a call. Here we go. You're listening to Sports Coma. Who am I speaking with?
Big Q, what it do, baby? This is Scoob Do It Too.
What up, Scoob? Who that, baby? How you doing, brother?
Who that, homie? I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing quite well.
What's on your mind, my brother? How you feeling about the black and gold whipping on the Cowboys, baby?
Oh, you know how I do. I'm loving it, just like you, man. Just like we all are on this chat here tonight, man. Especially being in Philly country, all my homies is like, man, please let these Cowboys so we can get a leg up in the standings a little bit. You know what I mean? So everybody's on my back today, like, yeah, great win, and all these Cowboys fans, like Skip Bayless specifically, man, crying. I'm like, I'm loving it and hating it at the same time, because there's more trash coming from them stars' mouths.
We can we can never do enough to shut the cowgirls up, man. Sooner or later, they'll say, okay, y'all, y'all just kick field goals. Y'all offense was garbage and all this kind of stuff. It's always going to be something. At some point in time, we got to just...
Look, man, I got a couple points for you, man. Like that game yesterday, man, was so exhilarating and it gave me so much agita at the same time. I'm like, all right, so old Tehran was getting beat. Like, the boy was taking his lunch money, man. Quinn was doing him dirty. Like, oh my God! Like, this dude needs to be tested this morning. I expected Goodell to have him in the office twice today. He was everywhere last night. Yeah, he was all over the place. I couldn't believe it. He made Tehran look like a 7th round draft pick. It looked so so terrible. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And even the commentators made a point to say, like that one play where he didn't even move and Quinn came in for a sack, I believe. He didn't even move, and the guy was like 4 yards in the backfield before he turned his head. He's like, oh. We hiked the ball already. I'm like, oh my God, guys, it was so terrible. That was terrible. But I mean, at the offensive line, we looked so good at most times. But Dallas got a real tight front four, man. And then what can you really do? Because the linebackers are so quick. You know, it's like if they should ever get it together and realize that Dak is whack and get him out of there and put somebody back there with Zeke, you know what I mean, for real, because Dak is not going to be the, you know, to me, no, he's a formidable foe, but he's not a franchise guy, and I think that game and the next couple of games, I think Jerry's going to realize it and not even try to give him all that money to set the market at least. He's going to have to pay him, you know.
Well, I heard about that was a comment that old Stephen A. made mention of. One of his thing was now you got a reason why he shouldn't pay him. But I think Jerry Jones probably going to end up paying the man. I mean, of course, you know, you have that little jostling going on like they did with Zeke. Zeke was going to get his paper sooner or later. I mean, but it comes down to leverage, bro. You know how those deals work. It comes down to leverage. And Dak Prescott has leverage. I mean, who do they have if Dak says, okay, if you don't pay me, I'm going to go somewhere else. Who do they have to replace him? I mean, they don't really have anything. He knows that, and I'm thinking he wants Aaron Rodgers type money. I don't know if he'll get it, but I mean, yeah, that's a lot of bread. But he wants Aaron Rodgers type dough, bro. And Jerry Jones, I don't know, man. He has a tough decision to make, man, to pay the man. But if I was Jerry Jones, man, I don't know if I'd give him Aaron Rodgers type money. I would sign him, bro. I would make him, bring him there because he's a young quarterback. He's going to eventually get better. And you got to remember, they went through a lot of rigmarole with the offensive coordinators and changing different schemes and packages. If the man could get comfortable with a system like our guy, Drew Brees, get comfortable with Sean Payton and Carmichael for all those years till he can master it, imagine what he could be able to do. So consistency and having the coaching staff is a real indicator for success. Being consistent. You have all that turnaround, that turnover, man, that can cause problems, man, in the major capacity, because the guy got to constantly keep on learning new systems and schemes and verbiage and all this kind of nonsense. I call it the Andrews Pete effect. Don't let me get on the Andrews Pete effect, but I think in the end, bro, I think that's what it comes down to, bro. I think Prescott has the leverage. He knows it, and he ultimately going to get paid. I don't think he deserves Aaron Rodgers type dodo, bro.
Yeah, he's going to get paid. But, I mean, I really kind of brought that up as to bring it to a transition, because they've been as successful. Cause we got Jeff Ireland for president, bro. I mean, this dude is amazing, man. He is amazing. Him and his scouting department are nuts. They bring it in with Mickey Mouse putting it together. You know what I'm saying? They bring it in the right cat. And we have a great problem, but it's a big problem at the same time with how do you pay all these cats? And Dallas is facing that same. But look at them linebackers and that D-line and the offensive line. Who are they going to pay? Like, how the hell, where's all the money coming from? You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to raise it to like $300 million for the salary cap, because it's getting crazy nowadays, man. Specifically with us in Dallas, because we're drafting so well. It's crazy. I don't see. So piggybacking off of the last caller, like, what do you feel like? You say pay Kamara first, but then damn it, Laddie Daddy got to get paid. He last night he looked like he was wearing that boy like a wet second shirt. Yes. I mean, he was all over him.
Yes.
All over him, and then your boy Skip Bell is gonna say, oh, he had an MRI for nothing, like his ankle was hurt. No, his pride was hurt last night after that game. Like, what the hell? No, bro.
Well, I tell you what, Scoob. I think, like you said, bro, Jeff Ireland, man, he's been absolutely just excellent since he came over from Miami. The guy comes in from a general manager. He comes in as an assistant GM and head of the scouting director, head scouting director over the scouts. He totally refitted the scouting department, made it in his image and likeness, and ultimately set the bar in terms of drafting, and you got to look at it. It's really easy for you to get up there and take first round draft picks and pick first round talent. Marshawn Lattimore was a no brainer. You know what I'm saying? But look at the ones that were really difficult. How about Elvin Kamara as a third round selection? People don't understand that. That guy was a third round pick. Third round pick. They had 2 rounds that went, and they left him undrafted. Then you look at guys like Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas was a second round draft pick. A second round draft pick. What moron in the first didn't take Mike Thomas in the first? I mean, it just goes to show you, and on and on. Even to the current draft situation, when you had Caden Ellis, he found Caden Ellis. This was a 7th round draft pick out of what, Idaho State, something like that. This kid, it came in and he was my preseason MVP. That's how good he was calling plays. It was absolutely insane how Jeff Ireland was able to pick these players. And then you know what's even more impressive, Scoop, is the fact that the Saints, as good as they are at drafting, they're excellent at getting undrafted talent as well. Guys like Taylor Stallworth, Shy Tuttle, JT Gray, they get all these excellent players, undrafted guys to come in and fill. They found Cameron Tom, who's one of the best. I mean, come on. This Josh Hill was another guy the Saints found undrafted. We forget about that. So you had all these undrafted guys. Deontay Harris was another guy. Harris was a guy that they picked up. Keith Kirkwood was a guy that they picked up undrafted. So you have, bro, you have all these from Temple near Philly. So that's what I'm saying. That's what's going on, bro. So you have all these great things. Jeff Ireland is fantastic, man. Like you said, Jeff Ireland for president, baby.
Oh my God. Reverend Saint need to put something on that, because we gotta love it. I just wish Tom Benson was around to see this, man, because he was here slaving for so many years, man. We had Buster after Buster, and then we finally got Ireland. Now it's new life, and his wife gets to, enjoy the spoils of that. But, at least it's to his memory. So, we can give him that much. You know what I'm saying? It's just wow. But anyway, I got a couple more. I don't know how long you want to keep me on here, because I can talk all night. But anyway, a couple points. Like, did you see Lil Jordan get it last night for at least one play and got cracked? I mean, he got hit so hard, no call on that play. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a welcome to the NFL moment right there for LaJordan Humphrey. He thought it was all good. There's somebody welcome to that. Yeah, I seen that, and I was kind of feeling real bad for my man LaJordan Humphreys right quick. He got his issue.
Right, but at least he made it up over Carr.
Right.
Like, what the hell? At least he got there over Carr. But look, another point. Well, I made a comment on it, and you touched on it a little bit. But Murray needs to be like that battering ram, man. After Kamara run these fools senseless all day trying to chase him, put Murray in the fourth quarter and let him wear these cats the rest of the way down. You know what I'm saying? We can pick up them late scores on GP just because the defense is gassed at that point.
Bro, my thing is, bro, I was thinking about it, man, because over the last 2 games, looking at the statistics, he had 2 carries in the previous game. Against the Cowboys, he had 4 carries. That's 6 carries over 2 games. That's way too little amount of snaps for a guy like Latavius Murray. He's not a rookie. He's an established veteran running back that gets. When the Minnesota Vikings was utilizing Latavius Murray against the Saints, they were battering, using him in the correct way. My only thing about that is I don't think Sean Payton truly trusts Latavius Murray, or either he doesn't know how to use him. Now, he might have had a vision of bringing him in or what he wanted to do with him, but it's a different thing to employ him in the actual offense when the time comes. And I think that watching Sean Payton for over 10 years now, he has a tendency to get carried away with certain plays, and sometimes people have to kind of get on him and say, Coach, you need to go back to kind of doing the battering ram, because he likes to get all these fancy finesse plays. I call them all these finesse plays. Like, he gave the ball to Latavius Murray. Then what Latavius Murray did, he did a flea flicker. A flea flicker. He threw the ball to Latavius. Latavius ran and threw the ball back to him, and it looked like he was looking to go downfield, but there was nothing downfield. So Teddy scrambled to the right and found Michael Thomas, who made a really nice catch. Right, so that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, he gave him the ball, and then it was a flea flicker. I was like, oh, man, come on. You can't flea flicker Latavius Murray, give him the ball back, but I think that's coming, bro. I have to say that's coming. At least the snaps is picking up. He had 2 in the previous game. He had 4 this game. So hopefully he'll have 6 in the next game. So hopefully it'll keep Garrett. So hopefully it'll keep carrying on. So that's my opinion on it, bro. I think having a discipline, to call a discipline game, Sean Payton kind of getting a little carried away. Going with Kamara, and that's like if you was playing a good game of Madden, you had Elvin Kamara, you wouldn't take Elvin Kamara out and put Latavius Murray in either. So I'm thinking he getting a little Madden fever going on right there, where he got Elvin Kamara in there, and he wants to use Kamara, because Kamara running in between guys and breaking tackles and getting his shirt pulled on and looking like he tackled and finding a way to find an extra 5 or 6 yards. So it's fun using Elvin Kamara, but he's got to employ Latavius Murray. This is a long season, bro, and you got to use both running backs. You can't wear this man out early like this through 4 games. We got to know how to pace ourselves here.
That's correct, bro. All right, so I'm gonna get off here, man. Get a family something else to talk about. I love hearing you talk about other stuff. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm gonna make it a point. I'm making a point to try and call you at least once a week or something, man, because I just love your banter, bro. I really appreciate the show. You know what I mean?
Thank you, School. Appreciate you, cuz. Appreciate you, bro. Who that to you, baby, and be safe up there in Philly land, baby.
And another thing,
yes, sir.
I would donate, but the way my bank account is set up, like no. Would you take layaway for like? Like no, bro.
Hey, Scoob, it's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy, baby. It's all good, baby. You're showing some support, baby. That's good, bro. Some people, they sprinkle a little cash. Some people, they share the show. People share love. It's all good, bro. And I appreciate whatever the fam do, bro. So that's how I feel about it, brother. But thank you, man. Appreciate your call, brother. You be safe up there in Philly. And who that to you, baby? Who that?
Who that, baby? I'm out. Peace.
Peace, Scoob. Great call, man. Scoob, man. Long listener, man. Scoob, good to hear the brother talk, man. That's really great. Great calls, man. I really love that, man. Those great calls from great people calling today. Travis, Scoob, and the rest of the fam. Thank y'all for calling, man. That was terrific, man. And we get to the part, man. It's 2-hour live stream. Unfortunately, family, that'll do it for the show. I'd like to thank all the people once again for calling in, man. All the family members for calling in tonight, family. Feel free, family, to share the show. It's other ways to contribute to help the platform grow. We all together in this whole mixture here, family. That's how I look at it. And it's, we got some family members that donate to the platform. We have some family members that join the Patreon and they give $1 or $5 a month. There's some that buy merchandise, like the shirts that you see in the Dat Slap, the new shirt coming out. We got several new shirts coming out. We got a new shirt coming out with Teddy Bridgewater family. It's called Crescent City Bridgewater. Y'all gonna love that one. It's called Crescent City Bridgewater. Y'all gonna love that one. It's coming up soon. We got another shirt that's called This Ain't Your Granddaddy Saints. That's coming up. We got great shirts, man, coming up. We also have the ones that you see on screen. I Bleed Black and Gold till I'm Dead and Cold. That's the Dat Slap 2 shirt with yours truly on there, slapping the hell out of a referee. That's a real cool shirt as well. We have merchandise for the men, the women, the children, the babies. They got onesies with our symbols on it as well. The smartphones, coffee mugs, all that is dozen projects. You can feel free to go to the Teespring link. Is right there. Adrian, thank you for posting it. It's in there. With the code BIGQ20, you can get 20% off on your purchase into September. So feel free to do that. For family members that can't quite do that, that's fine, family. Don't sweat it. You can feel free to share the show with other great people like yourself. That's Saints family. That is a terrific method as well. Wherever you socialize, feel free to take the Sports Coma with you to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you Reddit, wherever you socialize. If you're in, I know a lot of the family is in Saint chat groups, Facebook groups or whatnot, feel free to post the Sports Coma in there as well. So, I mean, it's just great, man. I appreciate talking to all the fantastic family members, man, on the show today, answering your chat. It was good, man. I couldn't take calls after the game, but I felt fresh. I got to talk to the family tonight, so it feel good to finally do that. So the next show, I see the family members action in there. Robert, who that? Robert saying, when is the next show? Today is Monday. I say probably like either Wednesday or Thursday, bro. But make sure you hit the notification bell, bro, on your YouTube page, so that when we, like tonight, we had a pop-up live stream. I call them surprise streams. When you hit that bell, bro, and you pop that up, then when we go live, you'll be able to catch it, and then we have the show. So make sure you hit that notification bell, baby, and that's what you get. So before I go, read a few comments from the family before we go. Javier, who that to your O-line playing under par this year so far? Too many penalties. Walford pretty much the reason Breeze got hurt. Kelvin says, me too, Q, makes no sense to holds the full starts. It's energy draining our offense. Donovan said, I'm not on Daz's bandwagon yet because of his age, inability to get separation. We need a wide receiver that can stretch the field and be a deep threat. Very good comment, Donovan. But I think the Saints are going to go with Dez because, I mean, they see him more as a slot man at this portion of his career. He's a surefire. He's a good route runner, bro. And he's a guy that is not gonna, you're not looking at him to play on the outsides, on the edges. You're looking for him to play underneath. And I think that part of his game at this stage of his career can help because he can catch the damn ball and he runs really good routes, and we can use a guy like that. Plus, he'll be an upgrade over anything underneath Ted Ginn Jr. We got a rookie and LeJard Humphreys who's gonna get there, and we got Austin Carr there. In my opinion, Des Bryant's an upgrade over both those guys right now. Demi says, Q, did Carl Granderson, Kiko Alonso, and Malcolm Brown play last night? Malcolm Brown started. He played. Kiko Alonso had a few snaps in the game. Carl Granderson, I think I've seen Carl Granderson. He wears number 99. He did play in the game. I don't know if he played that much, but you did see a few of them pop up there. Will Musgrave said, let's bring old Joe Horn back. I love that dance. Joe Horn used to catch the touchdown. He used to do that funky chicken dance or whatever that weird dance. Y'all remember that old Joe Horn celebration dance he used to do? Some weird dance used to crack me up. I'm like, what the hell wrong with Joe? Mel Dawson, who that, Mr. Mel? He said, hey, Q, this is your family. Mel in Riverview, Florida. I know I'm here in Florida, but I'm looking forward to the Saints putting it on the Bucks. Who that? Love you, Neff. Thank you. That's Uncle Mel. I appreciate you, Uncle Mel, joining in. That's love, family. Right there. Big ups to Uncle Mel. That says, Rob says, last year, this time they restructured Armstead's contract to sign Dez. Good point, Robert. Very good point. Around this time last year, they restructured Armstead's contract to sign Dez Bryant. History repeating itself, family. That is it. As we move into October, restructuring Warford, freeing up that money, $2.75 million to go after him. And I think it was right around the same amount of money, too. Thank you for that little caveat there, Robert. Scoop says Armstead looked like crowd noise was affecting him. Marvin, who that, Marvin? He said, I think the offense line did good besides 5 sacks. I think 3 or 4 was on Bridgewater. What you think, Q? Some of them were, bro, but ain't too much you can do. How the Cowboys were blitzing. They had a few stunts they ran, but DeMarcus Lawrence is a absolute beast. And Robert Quinn was coming off the edges. They were also blitzing the gaps as well. And this is a nasty trend that I've seen happen. And I wanted to talk about that. Thank you, Marvin, for bringing this point up. The opposing teams, the pretty much the Cowboys mimicked what the Rams did. If you take a look at the tapes and put them next together, you've seen that the Cowboys were blitzing the gaps and running stunts similar to what the Rams was doing. And and using that speedy linebacker play. And the Rams have really good linebackers as well that can move around pretty good. Dallas was emulating a lot what the Rams was doing to give the Saints problems. We're going to have to clear that up because a good defense can mimic what the Rams and the Cowboys did to impose success. The only thing that really helped us in the game was the fact that besides them giving up 5 sacks for minus 44 yards was the fact that Teddy Bridgewater did not fumble once on those 5 sacks. Now imagine had he had fumbled once or twice and given the ball to the Cowboys, the Saints wouldn't have been fortunate to win this game. They would have probably lost this game had he turned the ball over on one of those sacks. So we got to give Teddy Bridgewater, even though we wanted him to throw the damn ball away, he held on when he took the sack. At least he didn't turn it over. You see what I'm saying? So we have to watch out for that. The Cowboys mimicked a lot of what they did, what the Rams did that got success to get in there against the Saints. We got to clear that up. We having problems protecting when they run in stunts, when you have athletic defensive linemen that's running stunts, or when they blitz in the gaps. We have to do something about that. And my thing is, we're going to have to move Zach Line in there, or having a running back or somebody that act as an extra blocker. And I seen they was using extra block. They had Latavius Murray in there at times, but we're going to have to do some protection here. We're going to have to sacrifice having a guy running around there. We're going to have to have a fullback or an extra tight end to stand there and help out with blocking when you're playing athletic teams like that. We're going to have to figure out something. We got to make the adjustment. Robert Clark says, how about trading Jared Cook for Jimmy Graham? I wouldn't do it. Jimmy Graham, the money don't work. The money's kind of, I think Jimmy makes a lot more than Jared, and I think Jared eventually is going to get going. It's just 4 games into the season, family. Let's get a man some time like we need to give Latavius Murray some time. King Ebony says Jimmy Graham dropping balls too. PJ Jew, who that? PJ says, hell no, Jimmy's garbage. Sweat man, who that? Sweat man, he says Jared will be all right. He's getting better each game. Not having Breeze has slowed his progress and his offense even more. He'll prove big down the stretch. I agree with Sweatman. Sweatman's 100% right. You got to give these guys time to get acclimated in this offense. Good point on Drew. They had a synergy or a harmony with Drew Brees. Now he has to learn it all over with Teddy Bridgewater. Trust me, it's a different effect because each quarterback has his favorite target. And if you notice, Teddy Bridgewater he's not really that great at going through all of his progressions. But if you know what the progressions are, you know that progressions mean options. Who's the first option in the Saints passing game? It's Mike Thomas. Who's the second option in the Saints passing game? Who's the third option? And then the biggest question is, can the quarterback go through the progressions to notice the guys open? That's another thing. If he got guys climbing all over his back, he'll probably check it down to a guy like Elvin Kamara, which is what he's supposed to do, and not take the sack. So what I'm saying is it's going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of time while you have a different quarterback. And then when Drew finally comes back, it's going to take even more time. So let's not think Drew's going to pick it up at his Pro Bowl level coming back in. Drew's going to have to do his rehabilitation, then come back in. He's gonna be rusty. So we have to remember this. We think, well, hurry up and get Drew back. About time Drew come back, Teddy Bridgewater is gonna have control of his offense. He's gonna know what to do. He's gonna be better at reading his progressions. He's gonna be comfortable in that system. And I'm just throwing this out here, family. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this, because I've not heard this before from anybody. But picture this: Drew Brees comes back. He's rusty, really rusty. He's out of harmony, but Teddy Bridgewater in the last 6 games built the harmony, the offense moving with Teddy Bridgewater. Then you have a step back for 2 or 3 games while Drew Brees get acclimated again. That is something that we better prepare ourselves for mentally and spiritually right now, because that's what's going to happen. Drew Brees is not going to come in here and come back into the game and automatically start throwing and get back to what he was previously. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. He's going to have to take a couple of games to get acclimated as well, just like TB did. You know, he ain't going to take 6 games to get it. He'll take 2 or 3 games, but you still have to give him an opportunity to be able to get comfortable back there. Nobody said that. I'm just throwing it out there because that's reality. Sometimes we get caught in the now. I'm telling you, if you span out and look long distance, be prepared for it, because it's going to happen. Marvin says, I think Teddy need to get the ball out faster to help the O-line, and his sack total will go down along with the offensive holding calls. What do you think, Q? I think you're right on the money there, Marvin. Who that to you? I think that's an excellent comment. I think that if Teddy Bridgewater went through his progressions a lot quicker, Robert Quinn and DeMarcus Lawrence couldn't get to his ass. I think that he realized who he was going to go to, looked at 1, 2, 3, and got the ball out of there. I think that'll help out the offensive line as well, and it'll build a rhythm. So Teddy Bridgewater can help himself by reading his progressions faster and getting the ball out sooner. That's what Drew Brees does, that helps keep the sack total down. You can't just sit your ass back there and look down the field for 10 seconds and expect you to make it. Don't work like that. The guys are too fast, and you're going to have to read progressions fast and deliver the ball get it out as soon as possible. King Ebony says, LOL, Zion Williamson has Saints fans coming back. I mean, I've always been there, regardless when they were garbage and they were falling through the floor. But you know how some people are. Some people are bandwagon people. They're excited about Zion Williamson. And when a superstar come, he basically had his own following, and everybody that was a Zion Williamson fan from college is going to now become Pelicans fans because he's a Pelican. The Pelicans knew what they were doing when they was not only buying Zion, but they was buying his brand as well and his popularity, and they feeding off that as well. And look at the ticket sales. Yeah, 12,000 season tickets sold, man. The building on his seat, what 17,000 people, 16,000 people, and 12,000 season tickets have been sold. That's pretty damn good, man. That's pretty damn good. Let's see, Toby. Who that, Toby? Who that to you, baby? Marvin says, oh, now who that, Marvin? Marvin says somebody needs to change the battery on the fire alarm. Oh, man. Scoop says, Bell's a dude. We have been drafting too well. If there's such thing as that, the price is too high to maintain those cats. We'll figure out a way, my brother. But you made some great points. Thanks for your call. Who that to you, Quincy? I see significant improvements in Bridgewater's teammates drop key passes. And the offensive line gets penalized whenever he uses his legs. I've seen that. Marvin said, I like Apple. He does his job. Maybe we can keep him at a premium. Thank you, Adrian, for posting those links. Marvin says Breeze is a family man. He wants to watch his children grow. I know that, bro. His legacy is already sealed. He's going to be a top statistical man, but that is a tremendous what is the term I'm looking for? That's a tremendous thing to do, to step away from a team that has Elvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, and all these stars that was built for you. All you have to do is play around. Now, Drew is playing for higher stakes poker. Bottom line, he wants Super Bowls. Can the Saints deliver Super Bowls in that window, in a 2-year window? Of course they can. So Drew Brees walking away from a Super Bowl, I don't see it happening, bro. And even if he comes back healthy, there's a good chance they can win this year and next year. You think he walks away from that after the second year? Yeah, but I think he still wants another Super Bowl. That's in his heart. Joy says, you still live, my G? Yeah, I'm still live, Joy. I talked to Adrian. Look out for your boy. Let me know how to play some funds. I'm in school with it, Scoop says. Joy says, nothing but love. G, my daughter gonna be draped in sports coma gear. Appreciate you, Joy. Thank you, brother. Much love to you, fam. Scoop says Malcolm Brown was a monster last night. Light number 99 was in for a couple of plays too. Yeah, I know I seen him draped in there. He didn't. Speaking of 99, is Carl Granderson. And Demi was asking about Carl Granderson. I seen him in there. He ain't making the impact plays, you know what I'm saying? But he was in there. Joey saying, very valid point about Teddy holding the ball. Yeah, blocking, tight end, block and get the short ball. Scoop says second option is faceless, whoever is open. Scoop says my teams are getting in gear by game 8, and I think Drew won't be far behind. Kelvin says Teddy lacks anticipation. Donovan Taylor says Saints always had a small fan base. And Paul, who that? Paul says Bridgewater is a 3-hour ride in a washing machine. Donovan said, wish we could keep it that way. This is the fantastic thing about Teddy Bridgewater, though, family. Teddy Bridgewater is a very intelligent quarterback. You go back and watch his games at Louisville when he made the transition to the NFL. He has success because the guy has a short learning curve, not a long one, but a short learning curve. And I think eventually he has he's 2-0. He has another 4 games. And if we made it through a very tough stretch of games. These first 4 games were really difficult. Now the Saints have Tampa Bay on the horizon. They're not as stiff as the challenges of the previous month. Listen. The first month, you coming out of the month of September into the month of October. Listen, you are 3-1, Saints family. 3-1. You went 3-1 in that difficult stretch of games against Houston, against the Rams, against the Seahawks, and against the Cowboys. You guys are 3-1. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. So that is to be complimented how the team is playing despite the obstacles, despite the mistakes, despite the poor offensive pass protection against the Cowboys, despite the fact that the offense was getting burned up the first couple of games, touchdowns being thrown, yardage being piled on top of them. All that being said, and the Saints are 3-1. How's that happen? That happens because this team is a playoff team that loves playing together as a unit. They trust and believe in each other. I keep telling y'all, this is what great teams are made of. They don't let obstacles like losing a top quarterback stop them from having Super Bowl aspirations. Cam Jordan says that it's a challenge. Von Bell said it was a challenge. Sean Payton says it's a challenge. So what happened when he lost his quarterback? Sean Payton got that fire in his eyes that I haven't seen since he first came here. You know, it kind of got lulled to sleep because Drew Brees mastered the offense, and he didn't have to try as hard to teach Drew that because Drew already knew it. But when you have a guy like Bridgewater comes in, you got to learn the system. So Sean Payton he reawoke to teaching him the system and I think it's a good thing that Sean Payton, this will make him a better coach. It's kind of woke him up again, so to speak. Scoop said most teams are getting in the game 8-8, and I think Drew won't be far behind. Kelvin said Teddy lacks anticipation. JC Mason, who that baby, said glad Deontay getting offensive snaps. I said it previously that Deontay Harris needs to be in the game. At first they looked at they was going to do some reverses with him. They put him in there, but they don't throw. Remember I kept saying about Taysom Hill family is that they put Taysom Hill in the game, you becoming way predictable. Remember I said previous for the last several shows, I kept saying that you got to let Taysom Hill throw out of that freaking package. I kept saying it. It's too predictable. I said that when the first game happened against the Houston Texans, Booger McFarland, who was the analyst, he predicted what Taysom Hill was going to do, either run right or left. And I said, hold on, Booger McFarland is calling every time Taysom Hill get on the field. I said, if Booger McFarland could do it, he's a damn analyst. Imagine what the opposing coaching staff could do. If Booger could figure it out, they could figure it out. So they have to switch that up. They got to let him throw out of that package. That's the only way that it'll mean anything. It don't mean nothing if you put Taysom Hill in there to run right or left against a speedy defense. Yes, foolish. You gotta give him the option to throw the damn ball down the field, like we talked about. Joyce says Teddy's still getting loose out there. He's gonna make it. Kyle says we gotta keep the positive energy flowing to Teddy B. Good point, Kyle. Joyce said he almost had his leg cut off. He still trying to figure himself out. Soon him and Peyton are going to click. That's a true point. A lot of people don't realize that when he was in the ambulance, when that injury happened to him in Minnesota and they was taking him to the hospital, they were talking to him, and he's usually a nonchalant guy. They was asking, how you doing, Teddy? And he said I'm all right, but my leg, he said, how your leg doing? He said, feel like I'm starting to lose feeling in my leg. And he asked the ambulance driver to please hurry. Man, that's a scary ass thing, that you will lose any of your appendages. And this man thought he would lose his leg. That ultimately means that his football career was over with. It didn't happen that way. He was able to rehab, get back on the field, and play the game he loved. And that's why Teddy's so spiritual, because you have to come from good stuff deep down. It's more than just this physical stuff to make it through something like that. That's why a lot of people have to give Teddy Bridgewater a lot of credit and respect for what he came through, man, for real. And it's only fitting that he become a saint to do it. And he's a real spiritual dude, man. You hear him giving the glory to God. He's a real spiritual dude, man, and a humble dude, man. And I just appreciate the hell out of him, man. Donovan Taylor says Teddy's finna get some confidence with these wins and start slinging that rock further than 15 yards. They're going to open up the playbook. Kelvin says Tampa is streaky. They up 1 week, then look like the bottom feeders the next. They still learning to win. We got to still watch a team like that, Kelvin. They could be dangerous. Demi says, thanks, Q and the family. Till next time, stay blessed. Thank you, Demi. Appreciate you, baby. Paul says, what will the Saints do when Bridgewater has a struggle or just a bad game against a lesser team? They're going to do what they've been doing, Paul. Backing them up, having faith in them, reinforcing them, saying, listen, we going to win together, we going to lose together. But at the end of the day, we going to figure it out. So that's what I'm talking about. Tampa Bay isn't, Scoop says Tampa isn't starting Fitz magic against us. Don't worry. But division games can be tough. You know that. Paul says, Q, why the Saints don't use 2 tight ends and the fullback when trying to run the dang ball? I don't know. You have Jared Cook, you have Josh Hill. Both of those guys are really good blockers. You have Zach Lyon in there. I don't understand why they don't go into that package and they put Latavius Murray back there and let him run the ball. That would be one of those wham bam Pittsburgh Steelers brutalized running style plays that Sean Payton, he caught up in this finesse game right now. We got to bring it back to the power edge, man. We got to do that. But anyway, I'd like to thank the family for joining us, man. I got to as many questions, concerns, comments if possible. I appreciate the calls tonight on the live stream. As always, feel free to share the show on social media, wherever you guys socialize. Feel free to take the Sports Coma with you wherever you go. If you're able to, try to merch out. Check the link in the chat for the merch store. Remember, Big Q20 gets you 20% off. That's good until the first of the month. So 20% off. You can get it right now with all our latest Sports Coma gear. We just released the second version of the Dat Slap shirt. Check that out. That's in there. There's also a few other shirts that we have that's coming as well. The new shirts that'll be out next week and the following week. Every week we have a new shirt coming out. This Ain't Your Daddy, Your Granddaddy Saints, that's coming up. And Crescent City, Bridgewater is also coming up. So we got a bunch of other gear that'll be coming up for the fam to show some support with the Sports Coma gear. Also, feel free to become a patron, or you can share the show with your friends, family members, relatives, or even your enemies. Make your enemies your frenemies by putting them on the Sports Coma, man, as we continue to build our platform. So I'd like to thank everybody in the live stream tonight for joining us, all the great and terrific family members. Scoob, thank you for calling, my brother. Appreciate you, bro. Love you. And all the Sports Coma family members, Kelvin, Paul, Demi, Donovan, Kyle, Joey, let's see, let me go through Donovan Taylor. We got 2 Donovans in the building. Adrian, thank you for posting the links as well. Robert, Marvin, Quincy, Toby, King Ebony, PJ Juice, Webman, let's see what, Will Musgrave, Melv Dawson, appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. Stephon Wells, Brandon Williams, thank you, sir. Soldier for God 77, Baraka Longmire, who that to you, family, joining us in here today. Cody, who that to your family. Ramsey, who that to you. Let's see, Ricky, who that to you, family. And I think that I'm getting there. Gary, who that to Gary. Who that to my dog Donovan Grayson. We had 2 Donovans in the building tonight. DLP 2600. Appreciate you, fam. Brandon Davis, who that to your family. I see you. DJ, appreciate the call today, family. Who that to you? Michael, who that to you too, sir? Irvin, who that to your family. I see you. Renaud, who that to you, my man. Kevin McKnight, who that to you? Derek, my dog, who that to you? Who that to you, cuz? Let's see, Teal the Legend, my man, who that? Pain Music Incorporated, who that to you, my man? Road Dog, it's me, who that to you too, fam? I ain't see you there. It was a pretty win, but a win's a win. Big ups to you, family. Welcome to the live screen. Big Smoke Dog, who that to you? Larry, who that to you? Carlos, who that to you, my man? Welcome to the live stream once again. Let's see what else. Who else? I think I got all my family. Shedrick, who that to you, my man? Who that to the family member? And Danelle Covington, who that to all the family members for joining us in the show tonight. Appreciate y'all. Hit y'all like buttons if you hadn't hit it. Hit the like buttons for the show tonight, family, before you leave. Also hit your notification bell for future live stream shows so you know when we coming at you. And don't forget to share as well. So from me and the crew here at the Sports Coma, thank you for joining us tonight. Peace, my family. Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. #1 sports talking league. Being like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talking who that? Who got cut and who back? Is in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit for Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma.